and conquer. What do we got? We got him live yet? Not quite. Give him a couple of minutes. So maybe let me finish this one fight for good or bad. Live now? Alright, let's get this done.
Hello and good morning. I better get rid of the starting soon as we're starting now. I will put all my cards on the table as we start. I am incredibly tired. I have just rolled out of bed. I had like the worst night's sleep ever, waking up like every 15 minutes like I'm an old man. My nose is all stuffy. I feel horrible. But one thing makes it better, and it's that this game's a little bit loud. No, it's not that this game's a bit loud. This game is a bit loud. Give me 2 seconds. Turn it down just a tad. I'm incredibly good at this game. I'm actually not Ben Williams. I have played a lot of the missions for this on the hard difficulty, which is an understatement, right? It's a very hard game. Well, this one in particular, right? I don't plan to just play Command and Conquer 1 remastered here. I will. My actual main campaign that I'm running through is on the second one. On Red Alert. I'm not going to spoil which one that I'm going to finish on. I also have a little something prepared. As you see, I don't call this the Rose Tinted Marathon, I call this the Mockery Marathon. Now, I better turn it back down then. I turned it back up just a touch. It's one of the things I really enjoy about this game is it has really good music as well. This one in particular, the remaster, I believe is how they should do remasters, right? They have made it so that you can play not just the first one, but the second one, and it's not DLCs, but they were kind of like extensions onto it. I actually think it was a separate game, the Red Alert's Retaliation mode, which is just like a bunch of really cool extra missions. We will be doing some of Command & Conquer 1, which is called Command & Conquer Tiberium Dawn. Some of... Jesus Christ, I put it all the way down. I just see it like peeking in the red. Still, it just doesn't care. Oh, Franco, I've got something prepared that involves you later as well. I've got something prepared that involves a lot of people later. Because, like I said, this is the mocking, but I digress. We've got this one, which is Tiberium Dawn, which is the first one, which I have a crazy amount of nostalgia for. This is technically a game in the 2020 slot, but it is probably the game that I have the absolute most nostalgia for, which is just silly. I believe this is how they should do remasters. They have a great amount of stuff in this, right? You get the skirmishing and the online. Before this, you could only do online with a certain other thing, and there was a big scene for it, but it was and you could do it for Command & Conquer 1 at least. Now I have completed a bunch of the missions. I don't think I'm at the end for that one. I think this is like the second last mission here. That's nowhere near the second last mission, but that's a pretty hard mission. I haven't done any of the thingy ones, and honestly, I really like these special missions, but the reason I haven't done them is, you know what? Why am I talking about it? I'll show you, right? Let's start with Infiltrated on hard, right? Give me 1 second, because the first thing I need to do the moment we get in, what should we cutscene? Red alert free.
Our base is under attack.
I believe Hell marches from Red Alert, just Red Alert, which is another wonderful thing about this game. We have Hell March. We have Hell March 2 and 3. We have the Retaliation remix for Hell March. So, and these are all the... I get to pick. I can get through them all. There's, I believe, 200 tracks in total. Because this is how you do a remaster. They did the most important thing for me personally, other than just making it really good, faithful to the original, while just making it more playable on newer systems, which is they completely redid all the music. They got the guys who originally did it, and they just went crazy with the music again, and it's so good, because the music is so goddamn good in this. The Command & Conquer 1 music, it still holds up, it's still really good, and it's just so nostalgia filled. And then you've got the likes of the Red Alert one, which I love personally. Hell March, like crazy. It's just so good. I'm actually going to jump into settings and turn a lot of things down. Keep the music still fairly loud. But we'll turn that all down. Keep you...
Sound hardware initialized.
Hopefully that's okay. Now, another thing I need to do is actually need to slow it down. I'm actually going to slow it down a little bit more, because I'm not winning this. this mission I'm not winning, and you'll see why in a second.
Unit lost.
It's brutally hard.
GDI building captured. Building.
Yes, affirmative. Yes, sir.
Building.
Luckily they bug out and they don't actually thing it. Otherwise I would be
Repairing.
absolutely screwed.
Yes, sir. Yes, moving out. Acknowledge. Moving out.
I have to very specifically do this right now.
Unit ready. Construction
What I need to do
complete.
here.
Yes,
Building.
Nah, I was too slow.
Building. Construction
No, don't hit that,
complete.
don't hit that, no, my thing!
yes.
Unit
Thanks,
lost.
Vehicle reporting.
Not building
You shall
captured.
remember it.
Moving out.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir. Reporting. Yes.
But like I said,
Unit lost.
game's freaking hard, man.
Our base is under attack.
Game's real
Unit
hard.
ready. Unit lost.
This mission in particular is pretty
Building.
hard. I will speed it up once this is done. Because we do have a little bit of time
Repairing.
in the harbour, so it's coming back to
Unit ready.
funny another one out.
Building.
This will be another thing that spawns over here. There we go, right on time.
Unit ready. Building.
But yeah, once this is done, we'll speed it back up.
Repairing.
Also, this is originally how it looked, which I don't know about you guys, but this does not look bad. This was back in like, here, focus down,
Unit
down,
ready.
down a little bit more again. I can't tell you how we worked with this as well. Currently right now it's at 10. What did it have before? Currently only Command Conquer 1 games have been remastered. Doing Command Conquer 1 games. PlayStation 1 with Command Conquer. Is that even the right one? Could be. For Red Alert myself wasn't allowed, unfortunately. It's technically the same remaster. Oh, do you not have the Red Alert for the original? I'm going to turn everything down a little bit more as well. Let's listen to him about how much. Hopefully that's a little better. 3D sprites age more gracefully
Our
than
base
3D
is under
models
attack.
in general. You get out of here. You get out of here, mister.
Repairing.
Acknowledge.
Basically I have to build something there
Now
to
building
stop that from
captured.
coming back.
New construction
Another
option.
thing you have to do
Building.
Reporting.
is now get ready. Right, we've run out of money. Freaking Christ. What we're gonna do again? Turn it, speed it back up. Because like I said, this game is absolutely brutal. It is balls hard. Okay, here we go. This is what the remastered actually looks like. And I can tab between this and the remastered in
Structure
seconds.
Our base
Well,
is under
no,
attack.
not even seconds. Just the
Construction
click of a
complete.
button. That's all it takes. You guys go over here.
Insufficient funds.
Not doing that. You. Now I need to get set up and ready to defend myself because I am about to get attacked by so many goddamn things, it's crazy. I'm about to lose. And that's okay, but I can't tell you how hard this is about to get. I would like a repair facility, but I do just need the GDI have quite possibly remap toggle, graphics from spacebar, it's so obnoxious. I mean, not really. What do you need spacebar for? Like, I think that's a great adjustment.
Construction complete.
Yeah, they did go all out, right? Like, they just made it so you can more clearly see what was already there. I think that's such a great touch. Like, look at that one. That one in particular is like very little changed from it, which is great. That's how you do a remaster.
Building.
Maybe 3 of these. Hopefully I can get 3 of them up in time before the
Repairing.
actual attack happens.
Wait, sir. Reporting.
Because like I said, this is very hard. Never really understood why they went with remixes for this release. What do you mean then?
Insufficient funds. Repairing.
Again, I think they were pretty much perfect. This is exactly how you do a release. The reason for the remake and not the original is 1, it's a lot easier to get this running.
Complete.
2, I have a lot more control over the music and the soundtrack. 3, there we go. That's already coming. Look how little my thing does to these tanks. It's not a good time for them. Here we go, real bad time actually.
Unit lost.
Yep, there we go. All flavors.
Repairing.
I hate flamers.
Structure sold. Our base is
Yep.
under attack.
There's
Unit
not a
lost.
lot I could have done against that.
Construction complete.
It's just real goddamn hard.
Building. Repairing.
But no, I have straight up lost. I was actually even less prepared than I was in the test stream. But on very hard, this game does not mess around. Or not even very hard, that's just hard, right? We'll try it again on normal. These expansion missions were made to be very hard though. And we'll give it another bash.
Our base
Having
is under
a
attack.
good amount of control over
Unit
the
lost.
Yes, sir.
Building. GDI building.
Yes, sir.
Captured.
what's it called? I'm going to bug out.
Repairing.
Having a good amount of control over the speed is a pretty nice one as well.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Unit reporting. Off.
No, usual.
Unit reporting.
Unit ready.
Oh, crap. I got
Building.
Got it.
Unit lost.
Don't shoot him. Run, man. Run, man.
Unit
Beautiful.
ready.
Moving out.
Yeah.
Building.
I don't have my sandbag ready.
Not building. Captured.
Come on, quick.
Our base is under attack. Construction
You get a
complete.
little bit more of a grace period.
Unit
Literally just 2
ready.
rocket launchers managed to kill that guy this time.
Moving out.
Building.
Should have been building you.
Yes, affirmative.
He's deciding to attack me a wee bit early, which is fine. Put that back up. But yeah, the defensive buildings for the GDI are not very good. They have by far the strongest vehicles though.
Construction
I would say they
complete.
have the weaker of the what are they called?
Building. Construction
infantry though,
complete.
but they also have health.
Our base is under attack.
And the reason I space everything next to each other, Spambuka, is because you can only build within one tile of the nearest thing, and I'm not building a sandbag every time. You can build off the walls. That was actually one of the cheese strats I used as a kid. When I was younger, it was great. I loved it. You just you build a chain of walls to your enemy's base and wall them in, and they don't attack them, or they didn't attack them. They would run over the sandbags and the chain link fences, but they can't do that to the walls. They have to shoot through the walls, or unless they were shooting at something behind those, I forgot about used to.
Construction complete.
But yeah, unless they were shooting at something behind them, the walls, that is, they didn't attack walls. So you're completely immune to most things, basically.
Building.
This is something
Construction
I wanted to
complete.
do before we get our base
Building.
there,
Construction
which
complete.
is walls.
Building.
Walls are great. If you
Construction
just
complete.
spam up walls between getting attacked,
Building. Construction
you
complete.
really don't need to worry.
Building. Construction
Now
complete.
these wee towers can shoot over
Building.
most things, so I'll just put like a wee wall
Construction
down here
complete.
with like
Building.
behind these.
Construction complete. Building.
Now already it feels like I've got a lot more
Construction
time to
complete.
prepare, and everything's just
Building.
going smoother here, thank God.
Construction complete.
Splunky's RNG hell and Factorious Flows of Water, who turned play into work. This is clearly the game for 2020. Exactly, Ninja.
Building.
Spelunky, I watched Spelunky. Spelunky didn't look too bad. Spelunky looked like a game that, if I was really bored, might do something to kind of thingy me over, tide me over at least. Not a bad game, but certainly not a game of 2020, right? 2020 is far too recent for a game like that. Now, you could say the same about this game, but well, you can, because when I heard of the Rose Tinted Marathon, I was like, right. One, he should have went with Mockery Marathon. That's a much better name.
Insufficient
But
funds.
two,
Construction complete. Building.
the kind of principle behind it was that it's games that you're rose tinted for, and you can't really have rose tinted glasses for a game that came out as recently as 2020. honestly.
Construction complete.
So what I kind of went with was, hey, let's play. Can you not build that? Oh wow, does normal just remove him building all that
Base
stuff?
is under attack. Repairing.
Maybe he's gonna get lost there. Now still certainly ain't easy on this difficulty.
Building.
Like, it gives us a lot more time to prepare.
Building.
You
Construction
also can sell
complete.
used rolls back for money, which would have back damage
Building.
as well.
Structure sold. Construction complete.
But yeah, this is
Building.
crazily weak in regards to the defences. See all this stuff, if I had a single obelisk tower, I would be destroying all of it. Just a single one behind some walls, that's all you need for Nod.
Repairing.
They have by far the most crazily strong defence. There we go, like, that's the difference.
Construction complete. Construction complete.
Nod is just better. I'll give you a little story
Structure
from my
solid.
youth.
Construction complete.
And it's that when I was a kid, I remember, like, this is a hard game. It was a hard game for me even as a kid.
Building.
And what I did
Insufficient funds.
was I was
Construction
playing
complete.
through the GDI one. I finished the GDI, I
Building.
went on to the Nod, and the Nod is just a lot
Construction
harder
complete.
by kind of design, right? You can't do like vehicle rushes and stuff because it's just
Building.
not as set for that, unfortunately. The likes of the vehicles are just so weak in comparison. Like those rocket launcher artillery things there, the normal Nod don't get them. It's only the AI Nod that'll get them. Now I'm getting rid of this wall because it looks funky and I don't like it. So we're gonna go for a little bit more of a aesthetically pleasing base before we go. Just want to attack that one. But it was so hard. I got to a certain mission. I can't even remember the name of the mission now. I just remember the mission being absolutely balls hard.
Cannot deploy here.
And it beat me. It just completely beat me. And I was an angry kid, right? I was not your cheery, happy, always peaceful kind of person. I was a very angry kid. Somewhat of a bully, you could say, and I showed that by being so freaking angry that I lost. I opened up the disc, because this was on a PS1 at the time. I grabbed the game out and I just started trying to bend it, and I just kept on bending it because I was just so mad. I'm like, you keep on beating me, fuck you game. And I got so mad it snapped and it shattered into like a million fragments everywhere. Now this is the part where I admit that it wasn't my game, it was my father's game, and my dad, not a nice person, not someone who particularly responds well to the likes of breaking his stuff. So immediate panic set in. I'm sitting there, I am literally picking up shards of this Nod disc for like hours. My mum comes in, she's like, what the hell you done? There's just like shards of like disc everywhere under her bed and all this stuff. I'm like, oh my god, I'm in so much trouble. So my mum knew that if I didn't like find all the shards and hide it and just like pretend like we lost it, that my dad would whip my ass, like physically beat the crap out of me for that. So luckily we avoided the beating, but I then lost the Nod disc, which was a shame because Nod has some of the most fun stuff to play, right? Like you had to have either disc on
Our base is under
in the computer for it to
construction complete.
be runnable, right? And without having that disc, I just couldn't play it, and it was gutting. It was absolutely gutting. But yeah, that's
Insufficient funds.
that's why the moment this remaster came out, I'm like, I need to get it. I need to just have it, right? I don't even particularly need to play it. I just need to have it, because how can I not have Command & Conquer? I did kind of more or less play it to death, but the remaster was done so well that I was like, you know what? I don't like EA as a company. They're not the greatest,
Construction complete.
but I can't not.
Building.
I just can't.
Construction complete. Our base is under attack. Unit lost. Building. Construction complete.
Poor wee guy. He's not gonna know what happened. Yeah, we are kind of going a lot on that.
Construction complete.
Get a overboard here. We don't need to build all this stuff. It's just gonna look nice to do
Construction
as a
complete.
base.
Building.
So I can play this somewhat easier to watch game, or easier to talk over game, sorry, should I say, while I talk about the game the stories from it. Young big boy was amazed to see you play Command and Conquer.
Construction complete.
I could not. It's just such a good game, right? It's such a good
Building.
thing that
Construction
isn't there
complete.
is Fog of War.
Our base is under attack.
I don't think Command and Conquer 1 had Fog of War. I mean, this
Building.
Fog of War, yeah, but once you went over it, it disappeared.
Insufficient funds. Construction complete.
Like, it never came back. That is one thing I really loved about Command and Conquer Red Alert. I really like to basically set up my own missions, kinda.
Construction complete.
Where I would use if you sold,
Building.
there's a building in Red Alert that if you sell it,
Construction complete.
you lose all the vision for the map. It gives you full vision of the entire map, but then if you then go and sell it, you lose all vision. So what I would do is I would put like little mini bases around the place.
Building.
Oh, sneaky bugger.
Ready.
Try the old sneaky bleaky.
Building.
And I
Construction complete.
would basically make it as if like those were like cut off units and whatever, and I had to go get them, or have them survive themselves while my main base just defended against whatever waves were coming. It was just such a fun experience, right? It was just so good, and it still is. Like, this game, it hasn't aged, really. It really hasn't. This is almost exactly how most RTSs play these days. The nostalgia's there, the music is absolutely slapping. I can't hear it because I am still almost entirely deaf. That's not due to get fixed until Friday.
Cannot
But
deploy here.
it's
Building.
it's so good.
Construction
It's
complete.
one of the things I was really bummed about, being basically deaf for the week 4, because
Construction
I have to
complete.
miss out on what is just an amazing
Unit
soundtrack.
lost.
What was I going to do?
Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Now, this is like I said, this
Construction complete.
is by no way
Moving out.
the most
Unit
efficient
lost.
way to do this. Oh, please tell me.
Unit lost.
They're going to be going for my... Oh no, I'm not. Fine by me. Fine by me.
Building. Construction complete. Building. Structure sold.
I can't.
Construction complete. Building.
Like I said, we're making
Construction
a wee
complete.
aesthetic base.
Building.
Just for this one.
Affirmative.
Construction
While I
complete.
chat away. Because
Building.
we've got this one more or less in hand at this point.
Construction complete.
Like hard isn't impossible. I would
Building.
be able to do hard, but I'm going to be honest, my brain power right now
Construction
is running on empty because
Building.
of the illness and a
Construction
bunch of other
complete.
stuff. Mostly the whole being deaf thing
Building.
right now. That's kind of hard to deal with. I'm not going to lie.
Construction complete. Building.
So I just wanted something that was just fun.
Construction
right? Just
complete.
fun.
Building.
I forget why I was
Construction
doing this.
complete.
We're going to go to
Building.
cover, just have it so that it makes a wee pile of
Construction
tidy
complete.
there for us.
Building.
To actually build walls with the effort it takes, I could
Construction
never be asked.
complete.
I mean, walls is the strat,
Building.
right? Like that was me as a kid.
Construction
Very
complete.
early on, I learned. Oh, the
Building.
AI don't actually attack the walls. So
Construction
what I would do
complete.
is
Building.
build silos
Construction
until like
complete.
choke points, kind of like there, and I would just wall across there, and then I'd wall across here. I think there's maybe a little bit more that I would need to wall across, but the AI just can't deal with that. That
Building.
it's just something they don't understand how to deal with.
Construction complete.
And we can build off of these,
Building.
right? Like we can build.
On hold. Cancelled.
What's that?
Silos needed.
Oh, silos needed. Oh crap.
Building.
Like I said,
Construction
I can't
complete.
hear us screaming silos needed at me.
Building.
This is just in case any re-engineers come this way. Just walled with defensive buildings instead. Walls would work too. Just walled with defensive buildings, but like
Construction complete.
they're so expensive compared to just
Building.
flinging down some walls. Like walls, like that would take me like what, $1,000 to completely cut off that passage, and then like another like couple of hundred to cut off that one.
Insufficient funds.
Oh, we're already back to insufficient funds because of Big Mammoth, right? Yeah. Another good thing that I liked was in this Command and Conquer at least, was
Unit lost.
if you take out all of the silos as the GDI, you get planes. You get an airstrike, and the airstrike is brutally good. The likes of, if you're Nod, it's so hard to play the game as Nod because of it. It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. Because you have to deal with
Construction
every
complete.
so many minutes. There'll just be an airstrike, and whatever that airstrike's going for is probably going to die. Unless it goes for
base is
your,
under
what they call
Yes, moving out.
harvesters, which will start to whittle down your harvesters.
Moving out.
Otherwise, whatever it goes for is pretty much dead. It does so much damage, it's so strong, and it recharges so quickly. I think the thing that it does is it always attacks like the furthest north thing. Build a second base as soon as possible. I never did that. You couldn't really build second bases in this without like spamming silos to another area. Oh, that's really bad for him to be attacking me in this silo, this field, because that's where all the stuff is.
Building.
And whenever he attacks, it destroys the money basically.
Waiting order. Unit reporting.
So I'm gonna go send something over here to actually deal with him. Oh no, he's coming to me.
Insufficient funds.
This guy should be able to take him. With a soldier in the top corner. I think that was my go-to strat, was always placing a really disposable unit as far forward as possible. They just didn't matter.
Repairing.
And it works pretty well. I don't know how well it works in the remaster,
Building.
but in the original that pretty much always worked. In fact, it always worked. The game is very predictable in that sense, which is nice, right? I like that.
Construction complete.
I like that I wouldn't have to guess
Building.
what was happening, right? You could understand the mechanics very easily.
Construction complete.
Now after we get a couple more mammoth tanks, we're actually going to go actually attack these. Get out here, flame tank. Get out here,
Our
rocket
base
tank.
is under
Get out here,
attack.
rocket tank. I can't believe he gets them, but I don't. Shit. I believe the mammoth tanks also were one of the only things in the game to have regeneration. Once they get to below half health, they regenerate to half health. I don't know if that's this game or it's red alert.
Repairing.
We will be.
Construction
Someone
complete.
asked what I was doing in regards to the campaign. There will be a small surprise, but more or less it's going to be little missions here and there for the first like 2 hours, maybe an hour and a half. After that, I'm going to do my actual campaign really quickly. Is it still too loud? Jeez. I have turned it down to like the absolute minimum. Near enough. Like that is the second last pit for master. And it's also at out of 100 on the actual system. It's only at like 5% tops. Just a very well. It doesn't help that I can't actually hear it myself to gauge how loud or quiet it is, so I do apologise. But yeah, the nostalgia's there. It's the whole point of the game, right? It's like, do old games still measure up? And I would say for this one, 100%. it's still enjoyable. This is the very first Command and Conquer, so it's the least kind of good of the remasters, I would say, and it's still really freaking good. It still feels nice to play, which is the important part. The music, absolutely baller, and just the whole aesthetic of it is just perfect. Kane is probably one of my favourite antagonists of any
Yes, sir.
like franchise.
Yes, sir.
Kane lives. Kane lives in death. I love Big Man Kane. We will be doing a cinematic with him. We'll be doing a bit of No Mercy on not the hardest difficulty. No, you were right with protagonist, because he is the protagonist in the main overarching story of Command and Conquer. Kane is the guy, right? It's about him. Stalin was so nostalgic as well. We'll get to see that as well. We'll almost immediately be jumping into some of the Red Alert stuff. I'll do a couple more of the normal Command and Conquer 1 stuff, and then I'll jump into Red Alert. Red Alert will do quite a bit of the Soviets, because the Soviets get to commit the war crimes, and like, who doesn't love some war crimes?
Yes, sir. Moving out.
Building.
Now, the way I play isn't super efficient. I don't plan to be super efficient. I'm not one of the kind of RTS tryhards. There's plenty of other people if you want that, but for me this was just a walk down memory lane basically. First mode mission is also gunning down a few villages. Yes it is. It's also really hard. The game in general for Command & Conquer 1 on very hard, or just hard, is probably one of the hardest things I've had to deal with, because it's very much in the style for the speedrunner type peoples, or not speedrunner, but like, you know, the nerds that love StarCraft and whatever. No offense to all you nerds out there. Oh, he's dead. Just out range of my wee turrets. Let's go for your freaking harvesters. But see, if you attack their harvesters, God help you. The world comes for you if you attack their harvesters. Which I fully plan to do. Because he's actually stealing my wee pile here. This is my pile. It's closer to my base than it is to his. Get out of here.
Construction complete.
Go on, get.
Unit reporting. Moving out. Unit reporting. Acknowledged.
That's a... there's a special attack that the mammoth tanks do, like, once every now and then, which is a... You'll see them fire some rockets. If they have to turn their turret quite far to actually attack, they will fire a bunch of rockets, which is basically their only anti-infantry weapon. It'll do a lot of damage to infantry. It'll do pretty much nothing to anything else. Well, it'll do a little bit, but it's not anywhere near as strong as the like, main turret against armoured stuff. If it's just against infantry, it's a really good AE, but it's very inaccurate. It's not great for actually hitting the targets. Make a wee silo pile up here, just in case we're not always able to fling this. Another really good strat when I was younger was APCing, and you rush the APC in and you fill it with engineers, because engineers instantly take over in this game, which is both incredibly strong for me and incredibly strong for them. As you've seen, taking over my refinery in like the first second of the game is just so rough. But like I said, most of this game is hard. Even when I was a kid and playing this without the remasters added difficulty, because it 100% adds difficulty in the remaster. Right, there we go. They do not like you attacking their harvesters. They are set that if you attack their harvesters, you are not allowed to do that. This is why I built up so much for this bit here. stealth tanks are by far the biggest threat, followed by you, followed by you, followed by you.
Unit reporting.
Now you're pretty beat up. You're pretty beat up.
Unit
Now they will rebuild them,
acknowledged.
basically,
Vehicle reporting.
as well, which is kind of rough.
Unit
Should be
reporting.
fine.
Moving out.
Can afford another one already. It's a lot harder than you remember Real Decoy. It's specifically very hard. I think it's because as people have kind of grown up, they've got a lot better at RTSs. In general, I would say the average skill level of gamers for certain genres are improved. The likes of strategy, it's definitely improved for them. That's because of years of like really competitive games, like your I think it's StarCraft I'm thinking of.
Construction complete.
The red alert one is a lot easier, especially, or it's still easy. It's not easier, it's just still easy. But this one is balls to the walls hard, especially if you're playing on hard. With limited units, right? There's quite a lot of missions in Command & Conquer 1, the original, that you don't get to build a base. You just get control of units, and you have to kind of go for it, right? And it's hard. It's just really hard. I'm sure they've seen that, like that missile up there, which is these missiles that these shoot,
Yes, sir.
is what he does if he has to turn this turret to attack.
Unit
You're about to get some very angry attention on you, buddy.
Unit reporting.
Or buddies. Luckily that attack was already scheduled to get down there, so it's not coming for me. I should probably
Acknowledged. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
be prepared for
Affirmative. Vehicle
that though, with
Repairing.
my actual thing. Now that rocket attack I believe is also one of the few ones that can attack into the air. I can't remember 100% because I don't think you really have to attack much into the air
Our base is under attack.
as the GDI, because it's not really what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
God, all those the flame tanks. Yeah, you can see the little bit of regeneration our tank had there. That was dead. That's a shame. Could be the only one that we lose though. But yeah, flame tanks are real fun. I'm a big fan of the old flame tanks.
Yes, sir. Moving out.
Building.
Yes. Moving
Oh my
out.
god, the music. I can only hear little bits of the music every now and then because of my hearing.
Insufficient
But
funds.
my god, is it good. In fact, I'm pretty sure they got the same guys to come and do them. Did you see the clip from Lucky where he went into the nuclear plant as a commando mission, dead after 7 seconds? Poor guy. I didn't know Lucky had played this. How long ago was that? Because I've got Lucky followed. You should be able to post links now, Franco. If I'm wrong about that, sorry, it's going to time you out for like 10 seconds. But I'm fairly sure you should be able to post links again. It's a useful thing for the bot to do, is to, oh god, they're freaking coming for my stuff now. To cut out links just in case random bots come in with their shilling. But one, we don't really see that many bots anymore, and two, it's a lot of inconvenience for a very little saved, so I kind of turned it off for now. You have to move instantly or you get blown up by barrels. Another mission, that's normal. There's a red alert mission, I believe, that if you don't move instantly, you just lose. I'm actually going to go up here and start stealing his stuff now.
Yes, sir.
Send me you. And then use this one for over here, because I don't think this one regenerates this patch, but that one will. Once that reaches there, everything that touches gets a boost to its regeneration. So having the fields blend together
Yes, sir.
is really good.
Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Where are you guys coming? Oh, they're coming for me.
Acknowledged.
Oh my, they've even got the extra units.
Yes, sir.
In the original, you wouldn't really see these missile trucks here get used ever. They're basically kind of like these ones, but more infantry focused. They are not very good.
Yes, sir.
I think mission 3 for the Soviets is the same spam. You start off, you're trying to chase down. Sorry, I need to go on the floor. There's one where you start off, you're chasing down a spy, and he attacks the barrels next to you, and if you don't move out in time, the chain reaction hits your guys like almost instantly. But yeah, this is just so much nostalgia for this game. It's just so goddamn good. What can I say about the other games though, right? You get Spelunky, which is a game, I suppose. I wouldn't say it's like 2020 material. It's got no nostalgia, right? It's not really fitting for the rose tinted marathon either. Just meh, honestly. I believe it was Quintuple that ran it though, and I like Quintuple. Quintuple's a good man. I'm actually not gonna mock Quintuple. I'll mock his game a little bit, but him as a person, I quite like Quintuple. He was the only other reasonable challenge in the Mario race, so he gets a little bit of respect from me from that. There wasn't much in the way of real challenge from the other competitors anyway. As for the other game, which is Factorio. Factorio itself is a great game, but it shouldn't be in the 2020 release. No way in hell. It should be in the 2013 release, because it took 7 years to make for what is basically a game that plays itself. You can be hands off that game and not need to build really anything yourself. After is it like 50 or something things that you get to build yourself for an achievement, and then after that you automate everything, and it's like, how is that fun? That's kind of boring, right? Like, I'm sorry, but that's like, here, have a game where you don't play the game. I get that some people are really into that, but like, you know me, I like to have fun. And we played an MP with a bunch of us in the Jake community, where even in MP I struggled to find that enjoyable, because it was just so boring. I had to make my own fun, where basically I just kind of went off into a wee corner and made a wee town. Now, you can't actually make towns on it, but I made a wee town. I basically went to a corner, found a bunch of oil fields, tapped the oil, made a little, like, there was like a little mountain kind of area, or raised area, where I built like a little clump of things, a wee storage, made some defences for it, and just left it. And I called it Aberdeen, but not shit, because it had oil and it didn't look like shit. So that was my reasoning. Not clever, but somewhat accurate at least.
Yes, sir.
Make your own funnel. So it was you who made the heart, Jake. No, I do remember making something for Jake, but it wasn't a heart, Jake. No. I feel like I did something to mock Jake when I was doing it. There we go. If I didn't do that, there was no chance in hell I was killing that wee dude. I'm pretty sure they've ran out of vehicles to try and kill me with, because I just keep on attacking their harvesters, which is what you want to do, right? In competitive, I believe the kind of main go-to is like hit their economy. Oh, another thing I should have been building is the command center, or advanced command center, because this game has got some super weapons, and I'm very okay with that. Hello, Zancor. At least I hope it's Zancor. Unless he's silent, then it's Natchor. I don't know, it would be Snatcher WD? I am
Construction complete.
terrible with names. I apologise. If I've just butchered your name like 5 separate times, I do apologise. Let's get rid of you
Structure
quickly
solid.
and quickly fling that down, because I don't even think he needs a construction site to build that one. I don't know if it's disabled because we're on normal as opposed to very hard. But as you see from or from hard, I would not be able to actually talk while I was playing it. Polish? Are you Polish? Because I actually know a little bit of Polish. I don't know how accurate it is, so having someone who's a Polish person who doesn't work for me to confirm whether it's actually Polish or not would be nice. Lump up the rest of the stuff and get ready to go. Is that the classic kill march? Like I said, I can't hear it at all, especially now that I've had to turn it down like 3 different types. Polish is a nice language. I quite enjoyed learning it. Much better than like French. No offense, French, or anyone who has French. Could be Scandinavian. About to deliver a grave family insult. I'm pretty sure one of the words that that the guy I worked with taught me was a very offensive slur for gay people. So I won't be doing that one. Let's try not get cancelled, right? But one that he taught me was Kokamshe. I'm pronouncing that terribly with my stuffy nose and all that. I'm probably butchering that one like crazy.
Unit lost.
But I believe Kokamshe means I love you. Wait, they're built over each other? Kind of annoying.
Structure sold.
That should be right.
Ion cannon
I'm actually
charging.
going to move that over so it looks a
New
wee bit better.
construction
Where are you?
options.
There we go.
Building.
Kokamshe means which means I love you, right?
Unit lost.
Or have I just
Lost.
did a big bad? What was another one? What was the other one? Get out of here, you. Bardzo ładna.
New construction options.
It was bardzo ładna. Was it beautiful? I feel like it was beautiful. There's also cheaper, which I believe is like a slightly bad word, which I shan't be repeating unless it turns out that it's not the word that I'm thinking it is, but I'm pretty sure it's the word I'm thinking it is. Because I actually do have a thing for counting my swearing as well. There's a mod command. After I get to 200 swear words on stream, I'll do a punishment game basically.
Yes, sir.
Because swearing is bad. You're supposed to recapture your old base or destroy it. On this one, you start here. This is your base. This is their base. There is no old base to recapture or whatever. There is some missions like that, I believe, but this isn't that one.
Airstrike ready.
And as you see there, I killed the last of the
Select
SAM
target.
sites, so now I can airstrike it up. And it is very strong, right? Imagine that in your base constantly from the AI. I literally just took out his construction abilities with one airstrike. The AI on hard, on the missions, get that by default. You can't stop that. Even if you build SAM sites, the best you can do is maybe kill one of those planes when they're attacking. It is absolutely brutal. I'm actually gonna toy with them a bit here. Yeah, right. That was one of the things I did hate about Command and Conquer when I was a young kid. Was like, I have to do so much work to unlock that. Like, you see that, right? You can cheese it and get it before you've already won, but honestly, you're pretty much only getting it when you've already won. The worst part is you can't predict which side the plane would come from. Yeah, that was brutal. If it was the same side every time, I believe it always kind of came from their base, like where their base was located in relation to yours. Like, if it was the other way around and he could airstrike me, I'm pretty sure they would more or less always come from like this direction here. But it wouldn't always be the same. There was some randomness to it, and that was brutal. That was trying to deal with that. It was absolutely brutal. I want to show off the ion cannon as well. I may actually show off the ion cannon in my own base because I loved the ion cannon. It was a great wee thing. It wasn't a nuke like you get from Kane, but it was certainly good. I believe if I take out that Hand of Nod, he sells everything and then rushes me with it. The Obelisk of Light Remover. Yeah, that was basically the only way you could kind of reliably get a good hit into their base, is mass up tanks, send them in, and just before they got to the line, you ion cannon the Obelisk behind it, because they will rebuild the stuff, and if you quickly take that out and rush over with the tanks on the little like shooty turrets, like I think they are just turrets, you would be able to like get through there and smash them, but it was still pretty rough. Oh, this is cool, right? Because you could never really build these, I believe, in the default game. So it's nice that they actually added in the rocket launchers, because the rocket launchers, I like them. They're terrible. They're basically just these, but incredibly weak. Now, in this one, you can actually get the airstrike fairly easy. Yeah, there we go. Can I... Now these are really great for infantry. Once they go down and take that cover, they're so hard to hit for tanks. It's crazy. So one of the good strats would be to have a single infantryman minigunner go up to like one of these mammoth tanks. If you had one minigunner and like 4 rocket soldiers, if you attack the tank from face on, you send in the minigunner, right? He gets shot at, he immediately hits the deck, right? And he does that wee crawl. And for as long as he's getting shot at, he will hit the deck. So you just move him up like at the furthest reaches from this tank. You don't put him next to it or he'll just run him over. And you have like 4 rocket soldiers like here, just peppering the tank. And you can take out that tank with just those. And the minigunner will probably be like nearly dead at the end of it, but he'll still be able to pull it off. Now, I'm pretty sure that's going to destroy... Yeah, both. There's no chance in hell they'll survive in that. And then I'll just finish it off with that. It's just a big beam of light, comes from the sky, destroys it. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Get out of here, you. Get out of here, you. Now, do they still sell them? Oh no, they don't. They don't sell it. No, we've still got a chance. We've still got a chance. But yeah, I'm pretty sure if you get rocket launchers, you can hit the, I think there's the SAM site there, because he doesn't have anything to kind of cover it. He doesn't have any obelisks in this mission. And then there's the SAM site there, so you could have like rocket launchers shooting over, getting all 3 of them, and then get your airstrike, but why do that when you can just go in and slaughter it? Now the cutscenes were great as well. I loved these, especially the ones with Kane and that. Oh, you become a pro CNC streamer now? No, I will probably never stream this again. This is very much a one-off. I've got far too much stuff on my plate to stream. I've got Hollow Knight that's currently still going. We're nearly finished with that. We've also got the Fallout series that I've been running. I've also got another marathon that I have planned for myself. So I am incredibly busy. But there we go, we've done infiltrated. Now let's try... Is it you that's pretty hard? Now this one is all about the setup, if I remember right. You sure you want another? It's kind of like a misery marathon, Franco, but less. But no, I would say it was just as horrible for me. 11% efficient. Efficient, I think, is just really because I took forever to finish, and I spent so much money, and I didn't actually kill that much. But here we go. This is a really fun mission, right? You start here. Now, it's like, oh, you get a really big base to start off with. That's not bad, right?
On hold. Cancelled. Building.
Notice that I don't have a source of money generation, right? And just outside the bases is that. And there's one of those groups in every side. It's a bad time.
Yes, sir.
Now, this game was really revolutionary. It knew exactly what was up, and what is up is that churches are filled with money. So once I get down there and I deal with that, I'm going to get a bunch of money from that church. What's I going to do? Wait to have another one, because I'm pretty sure over here is going to get attacked in a second.
Construction complete.
Spam sites are not the most valuable thing in the world.
Building. Construction complete.
That one.
Cancelled. Building.
What do we need is these.
Construction complete.
Because we're going to be slightly cheesing it.
Construction complete.
As always.
Building.
We must be played as England.
Construction complete.
Indeed. I would like to actually harvest that stuff there.
Building.
So I don't even know how well this one's gonna actually work.
Building. Construction.
Not sure we have
Building.
the money for it.
Structure sold. Construction complete.
Now there's two things that will set these guys to come attack me.
Insufficient funds.
And that is,
Construction complete.
if I destroy one of these groups,
Building.
I'll be attacked really heavily myself.
Structure sold. Construction complete. Building.
Or
Construction complete.
oh,
Building.
please game.
Construction
I don't
complete.
remember them ever attacking early.
Lost. Building.
That may just be wrong. Oh, it's because they
Construction complete.
I spawned some stuff there.
Building.
Hello Wellington and welcome.
Construction
Who are we
complete.
competing with today? We're competing with Poland,
Building.
which is another Polish
Construction
Polish
complete.
person, and we're competing with Quintuple.
Construction complete.
But
Building.
I'm gonna be honest, we're pretty much only competing with
Construction
Poland.
complete.
I don't think Quintuple
Building.
is that
Construction
scary a
complete.
challenge for us.
Building.
We're gonna have to scout out this bit a little bit
Construction
here.
complete. Building. Construction
Thank you very much for dropping by. Snatcher? I'm gonna go with Snatcher.
Unit lost.
Poor you guys, poor you guys.
Construction
And there we go, we're
complete.
getting attacked with the.
Our
There we go.
base is under attack.
Say goodbye to all those men, and that's just gonna keep on happening for as long as I'm here.
Building.
It's kind of rough.
Structure sold. Construction complete. Building.
Now, I don't even know if this is gonna
Construction
work,
complete.
right? I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if it's gonna work. My
Building.
god, am I gonna try?
Structure
You still
sold.
attacking that? Yeah, so.
Construction complete. Building.
I mean, if push comes to shove, I can sell my
Construction complete.
wee tank generator there because it's not very useful. These weapons are terrible,
Building.
especially when compared to
Construction complete.
the likes of
Building.
an obelisk. I'll show off the obelisk in a second.
Construction complete.
Can I tell you why this is better? Because this is an actual nostalgia game. I suppose you could say that about Factorio as well, because it was released in 2013. It just took 7 years to finish,
Structure sold.
to basically get what I consider one of the, if not the most boring possible game.
On hold.
I'm sure there's people that absolutely love that game,
Building.
and I would never slander those people,
Construction complete.
but there are probably turbo nerds who
Construction complete.
haven't discovered anything other than the boring
Building.
life of having the game play itself for you. Like that's
Building.
such a terrible
Construction
freaking
complete.
thing for me, right? Like I actually like to play the game.
Construction
It's a
complete.
nice thing when you yourself get to, you know,
On hold.
do stuff.
Cancel.
You never you mind what I'm doing with these sandbags here, Nemi.
Building.
You
Construction
see nothing.
complete. Building. Construction complete.
That should be far enough away.
Building. Structure sold.
What can I sell? Probably actually going to sell that, thinking about it.
Affirmative. Ready and wait. Yes.
And split up all these infantry so they don't just die to one attack. I don't know if this is going
New
to
construction
activate them as well. No, we're good, we're good.
Building.
Yes, sir.
So that I can actually do that, and then I'm gonna make a
Building.
couple of bits of wall because I can always
Your weapon.
I can always build off walls. So if that goes down, I can just do that again. You know the game Star Sector. It's not that I don't like early access, right? Early access is fine, but for you to spend 7 years in a game and all you have is a game that plays itself, to me is disappointing at least. To tell you what, I'll give you the nod. That's a pun. That's an actual like I wouldn't say super funny pun, but it's a pun. Where did my little guy go? Oh, they came and killed it. Ah, crap! I forgot about that. Sometimes they spawn infantry, but right now they can't get in, so they go up to the wall. They're like, oh, they're just looking down. Now I do have a nuclear strike. A nuke can basically take out the majority of one of these things. I need like
Our base is under
probably 2
attack.
obelisks per side to actually fend this off.
Yeah.
And then I still have to attack the base, right? Like, that's not me. I'm not done. So I'm gonna speed the old game up, which is completely normal. Completely normal. It's part of the game, calling out turbo nerds in this community. A bold strategy. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. If you like Factorio, you feel welcome to give it a vote, right? I'm just saying, it's not my thing. I don't understand why you would pick that in 2020.
Repair.
Like if you wanted just a straight up good game that was released in 2020 from that year, right? Like say you don't want to go by
Insufficient.
the likes of what I've done, which is basically go for the nostalgia game, right? In a year that isn't really where you would get nostalgia ones, because I thought that was kind of the point of this
Construction complete.
this marathon, right? It's what games were you nostalgic for? And I'm not nostalgic for Factorio. It was barely released. I'm not nostalgic for Spelunky. It was barely released. But this, especially if we hit this button and go back to how it used to look, is a game where my nostalgia senses tingle. Because it just, like, this was 20 plus years ago. It looked like this. Like, this looks not bad. And the detail that they've went for You can see, like, I actually thought that was like a dragon head when I was younger though, because of these like template sticky out bits. But like, they did a really good job on how it looked, especially the tanks. And everything, when they remastered it, just made it more clear what they were trying to kind of show. Ow!
Lost.
Why would you do that?
Building.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, we're basically trying to
Repairing.
thingy here. Hopefully, if I get another obelisk in each one of these sides and put some concrete around it, I'll be happy. And then we'll fire the attack. Younger than 5 years now, unless the games are absolute trash nowadays. Yeah, they kind of are.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is this is how I believe a remaster should be done.
Insufficient.
A little doing it smoothly, it doesn't on LCDs. But yeah, like there's been a lot of remasters of games from like a long time ago. And say what you want about EA, right? They are a trash company filled with trash people. But they did this right. It's one thing that they've, in my opinion, knocked out the park.
Unit report.
Now I don't give them praise often. They really don't deserve it. But this one I can concede to pretty happily.
Repairing.
The Last of Us is getting remade again. I did like The Last of Us, right? The Last of Us 1 was a good game.
Reporting. Moving out.
Gameplay wise, it was okay. The puzzles were a little simplistic. I wasn't a very big fan of that.
Yeah.
But as just a straight up story, I loved it, right? There's something that resonated with that story with me
Lost.
that I just really enjoyed. And like, you know, fair enough if you didn't, but for me it was perfect. I can very much understand the anger of someone trying to kill your kid and you wanting to murder everyone because of it. That one I can see. Ow! Could you please get a by? Thank God they didn't go for this one, I would have destroyed it. Has it been remade once already?
Yes, sir.
I didn't know that one. How much do you cost in power? 150, which is basically almost an entire advanced power plant, yeah. Give a couple more walls for this one. Honestly, I'm looking at it. I might.
Complete.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna nuke this one and have just an obelisk ready on each side.
Construction complete. Building.
Get an obelisk running. Good. They may come for this once I do the attack, because they may not be able to get into this, and then they're like, oh well, this is outside, so let's go beat that up. Hopefully they don't, but they're probably gonna. Modern games, really like making modern games because it's a lot cheaper than rebuilding and dropping the art assets for an old game. I would agree with that. I think this part here, the fact that I can switch between these two simultaneously, I love that. I really love that. It probably has really cost a lot of storage to have it be able to do that. Maybe a little bit of memory, because it kind of seems like both these are running simultaneously. Like I imagine that one isn't all that graphically hard to do when it looks like this. But like this looks pretty nice. So having the two of them go together must be a wee bit more than it usually would. Please don't blow up! Oh my god!
Unit lost.
Freaking knew it. That can survive full health. That can survive one of them. But again, you don't know where they come from. Seems you need another SAM. SAMs wouldn't do anything. They would get their payload off before the SAMs ever actually hit them. Unfortunately, just how it is. Right, how many pounds do we have?
Construction complete.
Just remake it right there. Make sure I've always got enough to repair it though.
Repairing.
Yes, sir.
You wanna hurry up, buddy. So I think it's like 1,500 for it, yeah. That'll save up the next few trips, and then I'm nuking and praying.
Yes, sir. Ready and waiting.
Because I genuinely don't think we're going to be able to beat them. Not with this few amount of walls. I might actually double up the walls and some of them. This one in particular. I don't think it's going to survive against all this with just that and some infantry. So I will use the infantry and stuff to try help, but
Moving out.
I'm not all that hopeful. Honestly, you're so trash.
Structure
You're
sold.
doing nothing for me.
Moving out.
I'd rather have your money in your infantry. I'm thinking about it, and oh, it should be fine. It should be fine. One more and we're pretty much ready to go. Yeah, a few SAMs won't be able to prevent airstrikes. Airstrikes are incredibly strong in this game. They're probably going to get another airstrike off on one of my obelisks before we actually start as well.
Our base is under attack.
Killed it.
Unit
Killed a bunch of my
lost.
freaking infantry and my wee tank as well.
Yes, sir.
Like I said, this is just a normal as well. This is a very, very hard game. For how old it is, it's surprisingly hard. I believe this was kind of one of the ways to cheese it as a kid.
Building.
Let's fun you up.
Yes, sir.
That should be enough money to buy that, right? Yeah, 100%.
40.
Then I'll nuke here. I'll probably sell the sell that as well the moment I hit the nuke off.
Construction complete. Building. Insufficient funds.
Gonna
Construction
get one more of these in and just use walls.
Building.
Hopefully that one doesn't get through. Yeah, I'm gonna nuke here. Hopefully that can kill the stragglers. I'll quickly sell this. Build most of an obelisk. And then be ready to go.
Construction complete. Building. Construction complete. Building. Construction
That's going to be
complete.
enough, so I'm going to add a wee bit more.
Building. Construction complete. Building.
How much are you? You're £3,000,
Construction complete.
which will be enough for an
Building.
obelisk.
Construction complete. Building. Construction complete.
Right, there is going to be another airstrike. I'm going to get the airstrike over with first. I'm also going to sell you quickly.
Structure sold. Our base is under
And
attack.
use that money to repair it.
Unit lost.
And probably that money as well. Because my god, is it expensive to fix it. But yeah, this is just a fun game. It's it wasn't very expensive either.
Yes, sir.
I think it was like 20 quid when I bought this. And I'm like, you get Command and Conquer 1, you get Command and Conquer Tiberium Dawn, which is this one.
Select
You get all of
target.
the expansion type
Nuclear
missions,
weapon launched.
which is
Nuclear
the likes of
building. Our base is under attack. On hold.
oh no, that's how you
Cancel.
cheesed it. You could kill little bits of them
Building. Construction complete.
before the big kind of main attack.
Building. Repairing.
Yes, sir. Moving out. Yes, sir. Moving out.
Although I believe if I just straight up kill all the stuff up there,
Yes, sir. Moving
or
out.
most of it, it triggers the other two.
Construction complete.
I can't remember if you can build more nukes. would imagine so, but I'm probably wrong there. Yeah, there we go. Once you kill all the vehicles, it causes this. Now, that's good because I'm not attacking this. Now, if I sell a part to let them through, are they all going to flood through that same bit? Yes, we're about to see.
Insufficient funds.
Oh, what was that?
Our base is
Oh,
under
almost.
attack.
God damn it. If I knew that, I was going to sell it. Well, that means I don't need to build that power plant I was going to need to in a second. I honestly kind of doubt the remaster would let you. It seems to be going as faithful to the original game as possible, which I really like. It's faithful while still upgrading the things that matter, which in this case would be like the
Construction
graphics,
complete.
how well it runs on certain kind of newer stuff, and the likes of the music. The music is a big one.
Building.
For me, the music is the biggest one. Now, let them through.
Structure solid.
Are they going to come round as well? They are.
Insufficient funds.
And they're going to get zapped as they go around there. I'm a big fan of that. I got the right stuff.
Repair.
Oh,
On hold. Cancel.
tactical freaking
Structure
genius.
solid. Our base is under attack.
Yeah, they literally throw everything at you. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Repair it. Building.
What tactical genius?
On hold. Our base is under attack. Cancel.
What tank? Yeah, look at that. Mammoth tank is nothing.
Construction complete.
Now let's...
Unit lost. Building.
Yeah, I had
Construction
a
complete.
feeling that we're going to go for that one.
Building. Construction complete.
But now I could build a
Cancel.
bunch of refineries.
Building.
Oh no, all my men just died.
Our base
God
is
freaking
under
damn it.
attack. Unit lost. Insufficient funds.
Yes, sir.
But we don't need this down here anymore.
Structure solid.
There is another one up there that I can go to. Oh crap. Now this is another thing I really liked about the Tiberium system over the O system, is it hurt your infantry. If they had to walk over a bunch of Tiberium, it would hurt them, because it's
Structure
poisonous
solid.
stuff. It's basically a alien mineral.
Unit
Now,
lost.
what they did after that with the game itself, I wasn't entirely keen on. Like how it was planted here by the Skrin, which is basically the aliens from, like, I think it's the
Unit lost.
third game the aliens start. Right, so we need
Insufficient
to...
funds. Unit lost. Construction complete.
There we go. Now if I find you down here...
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Honestly, going up here would have been a better shout, because that's a much bigger patch, and I could have built it much closer.
Building.
I believe a good strat for here is to break a wall here, fling in some engineers and kill them that way. Now this will be the last one we do here. I would have liked to have done a little bit of nod, but I'm kind of running out of time.
Construction
I'm an hour and a half into my, I believe, 4 hours that I've got. So I need to be careful I don't run over.
Building.
I'm not going to run over. I'm going to be finished in time.
Unit
It
ready.
should not take me long for what I plan to do,
Building.
but I'm going to do like 1 or 2 of the red alert missions, and then I'm going to do a red alert,
Building.
ow,
Our base is under
a
attack.
red alert
Insufficient funds. Unit lost. Unit
campaign. World hard.
Ready. Building.
I'm just going to fling down a bunch of SAM sites now to try to defend everything. Actually, gonna use one use to scout it out a little bit.
Right away, sir. Yes, sir. Moving out. Waiting.
Oh, gotta steal your.
Got it. Affirmative. Reporting.
Don't attack that. Don't attack that.
Affirmative. Roger.
GDI
Yeah, I can.
captured. Our base is under attack.
That is absolutely fine by me, game.
Building.
Yes, sir.
Construction complete. Silos needed. Unit ready.
Because he doesn't really.
Building.
I think he rebuilds,
Unit lost.
but he doesn't build infantry
Unit
here,
ready. Building.
which means I can just walk over them.
Insufficient funds.
So I'm actually going to build an airstrip and build the stuff I need to destroy that. Yeah, there we go, built another one of them.
GDI building.
You know, actually, no, I'm not going to build an airstrip. I'm going to build a weapons factory that just has objectively better freaking stuff. Also, can I attack you? Yeah, I should probably kill you. Because that's his ion cannon, which I'd rather not deal with. This soundtrack is better than most 2020 games. Yeah, 100%. It really is. Don't attack him, don't attack him.
GDI building.
Shutting off his ability to actually
Our base
fight
is under
it is
attack.
fine by me.
Unit ready. Building. Unit
That was a
lost.
mistake.
On hold. Cancel.
Tried to cancel that.
Building.
Did not get it off in time.
Our base is under attack. Unit ready. Construction complete. Cannot deploy here.
Just get that off in time. He's probably going to immediately like airstrike it now or something.
Repairing.
No, it looks like he's trying to airstrike my SAM sites.
Insufficient funds.
I think they've changed it in the remaster to attack certain things like in a priority. Like they'll always go for your obelisks first or whatever. She'll be a trusted ally in the arguments to come during my Star Control 2 stream, Sinaj. I feel it's stretching, counting this as 2020. Yeah, the rules were very clear. I would have happily have ran this in the actual year using the remaster, but I basically think Jake's feeling on it was that it gave remastered games a bit of an unfair advantage, right? Because you should be showing off your game with warts and all, which I 100% get. So I'm fine counting this as this year. Or the year that is, sorry. Now, normally I would just build a helipad and take these things down, but these ones are anti-air, which is weird, right? The fact that the team that doesn't have to fight any air has the anti-air defences. Yeah, and then he goes and says cheat us against the rules and use all the mods and updates you want. Mods and updates I can kind of see as well, like to just get the game working. That is at least. That's, I would say that's a little different. If you're modding it to like basically be another game though, like to that extent, that seems a little against the spirit of it. Yeah, I think that even if I was to play this game the entire time like this, it would still be a better game than Factorio. That's how boring I think Factorio is. Now, like I said, you're not a bad person for liking Factorio. You're just a kind of boring one. Honestly, genuinely. I apologise if you're offended, but you are kind of boring, buddy. There's so many good games in 2020. If you were going for what game is actually good that get released then, I'm really surprised that the people picked the games they did. Like, they could have picked Cyberpunk 2077. It came out in 2020. I'm surprised no one went with that. Especially now that it is a actual playable, enjoyable game. Although I imagine completing that in time would be somewhat of a pain in the ass. 'Cause it's not good. I mean, you just echo everything. Like, have you played Cyberpunk 2077? Like, most people that say how bad it is haven't even played the freaking game. Which I think is hilarious. It's like, play the game. Don't just echo some YouTuber you watched, right? Because I did play it. I played it when it came out, and it was like, oh, that was kind of crappy. With all the bugs and stuff, because there was some bugs that just straight up broke it. Which, you know, that's bad. That you need to fix. You're anti-CDPR? Why? I never really get that. Like, see if the developers are like genuinely crappy people, like what was it, Ubisoft was it, that was like being like super sexist and stuff to all their female employees and crap like that. Yeah, hate a company for that, but like Cyberpunk is or CDPR is like really not one of those companies. It's, yeah, they did crunch, but literally every developer has crunch. Don't intend on giving them any slack for propagating the AAA habits. I mean, yeah, I can imagine, like, that's a fair enough point. If that's how you feel, that is how you feel. Me, on the other hand, like, I believe my actions are what matter, right? So instead of, you know, immediately going out and buying a game straight away, researching it before I buy it. I research pretty much any game before I buy it, whether I like it or not, by actually watching gameplay, right? You can listen to all the... That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to sell you their game because they think that stuff of it. So, obviously they're going to big it up to crazy, like crazy. But if I want a game, I will just look at the gameplay. That's all it takes. Look at the gameplay. Once you see someone else playing it, like the tiniest wee bit, yeah, you might have a little bit of spoilers for the game, but just like, don't watch the whole thing. Just watch a little bit and gauge off that how much you're going to enjoy it. That for me always works. Now, we've done a little bit here. I am kind of sad. I did want to jump into... well, when you only have $350 to spend in your annual game budget, I get that curating every possible choice. That is true, yes. Yes, there is also that. Now, that was Command and Conquer 1. Give me 1 second, because I need to kind of relaunch it. It shouldn't come up straight away, but... and then we're going to go into the Command and Conquer Red Alert Remastered. Hopefully this is technically the same game and I don't have to rejig it for the stream. I think I might do. Shadow of War background. I'm not sure if that's Shadow of War. Possibly. It's my victory over the Misery Marathon. Oh, there we go. It's came straight up. Which was a marathon I did like half a month ago, maybe a month ago, where people had to beat me. They had to submit games that I would hate, and then we rolled and played those games. Well, I've done a few of these ones as well. Let's play through some of the Soviets, the good guys in this game. They are the good guys. Some people might argue that fact, but strictly speaking, in this game, I believe they killed they killed Hitler. I'm pretty sure it was them that dealt with Hitler. Or was that the Allies? Either way, good people, good people.
Safe to speak.
Of course.
So here is Stalin, notable good guy. We are definitely on the good guy team, right? Hitler's dead in this game. Yeah, because he basically shakes hands with, I believe, is it Einstein that shakes his hand, or is it actually Einstein that goes back in time to do it, or does he work with someone that he sends back to do it?
Approximately
one of the two.
840. My intelligence said there were
Can't understand why we speak in
877
English.
people in the village. How do you count on
Because English is just a superior
intelligence?
language, right? Like,
Yeah.
even the Russians know it.
Begin full production of the gas.
Oh, please show the intro. You make a really good point. You make a really good point. What am I doing?
Control.
No, that's the wrong one. Is it you? No, that's the other stuff. Nope, wrong one. Is it by start a new game, maybe? Yeah, there we go.
Stop playing with that thing. I've just got to adjust this.
I'll shut up while this happens. Beautiful.
Give me the sequence calculations. Now! They're already done.
It's really good. It like the whole game is really good. Red Alert. Red Alert was such a step up from Command and Conquer 1 gameplay wise. I hate saying that because Command and Conquer 1 was my favourite, still is my favourite, but that is 100% rose tinting, right? There is very much issues with the gameplay, but Red Alert does it really well. It feels a lot better balanced as well. No, actually, I take that back. The Soviets are just absolutely brutal to deal with. Oh, this is just a random mustache man in Germany. We don't know his name. Oh, we now know his name. It's Herr Hitler, who is Hitler's cousin. We're just gonna shake his hand, say hi, howdy doody, and I don't know what that's supposed to kind of imply. Like, do we channel the chronosphere into him?
Did you find him?
So, Einstein murders Hitler in cold blood here,
Is out of the way.
and it sets up a new timeline.
With Hitler removed,
I always thought you essentially set him back to the dinosaurs. I mean, there is the dinosaur missions in Command and Conquer 1. He could show up there, you never know. Is that actually the Hell March? I'm going to have to turn it up a wee second here. Yeah. Demo Tail. Just such a great intro to the game as well. Oh, Pandy, shush, shush. You're spoiling the later bit. But the game is just so goddamn good. If you're not upvoting this, you're crazy. You're freaking crazy, man. Now, this wasn't released that long after the first Command and Conquer as well, right? Like, it wasn't that far between these two. Now, there is two sort of offshoots in the Command and Conquer series. Well, it's like 3 or 4 actually, but for the main part of it, the main part that matters, you've got Command and Conquer Tiberium Dawn, which is the first one we just played. It splits off to Tiberium Sun and that kind of timeline, which is where you'll find like Command and Conquer 3 and 4 and another one that we don't talk, well, no, 4, yeah, we don't talk about 4 though. 4 didn't happen. 3 and Kane's Wrath, which is a extension of 3. I didn't play any Renegade. No, I didn't get that when I was a kid, so I completely glossed
How
over.
long did it take to get
I was very much into my strategy when I was a kid, not so much the FPS.
Of course.
But all of these I love these characters. All the characters in this are really lovable. Not lovable, likeable. No, not likeable. I'm literally talking about Stalin here. We don't like Stalin. I'm not a fan of Stalin. He wasn't a good guy, right? Like, I'll just get that out there. But I mean, I like the characters and how they're played, right? The acting is surprisingly good for how long ago this was. Yeah, I'm rephrasing, right? I fixed it, right? We'll fix that slight kerfuffle, as we're going to call it.
Begin full production of the gas.
But both the Allied and the Soviets, really well done. The Allies are really cool. There's a scene at the end of the Allies, if you win, where the second in command basically goes over to Stalin in his destroyed bunker, and he just kind of subtly like puts a gag on him as he's like, because Stalin's trapped in the rubble, puts a gag over him, and then just like puts a rock in his head and walks away whistling. It's great. I love it. I'll remember that for the rest of my life. It's just so good. I believe when the Russians win, the woman on the left has been sleeping with Stalin. Not long after that, she gets killed by Stalin. No, she kills Stalin. She shoots him in the back. And then Kane comes in from Command and Conquer 1 and shoots her. And it's like, Kane was here? Oh my god. But then you take over.
Let's see how you
Off an Allied victory in Red Alert 1, pre-Red Alert 2, close to the separate split. Yeah, because there's a bunch of splits. It gets really, really weird. You're right. You would have to be a madman not to live to vote. It's a really good remaster. It's a remaster of a game that still holds up somewhat today, or games that somewhat still hold up today. Going to sleep in the land of Nod. Yeah, right? It's just so good. Now this is how this looked when it was first released. But basically we're killing a bunch of civilians as well. Freeing them from the trappings of their current life. Now this one is a lot I would say a lot easier. This is still on hard, like the last one. You pretty much can't lose this one though. There is quite a few missions, weirdly, in this one, where if you're playing the Soviets, you kill a bunch of civilians. They are bad civilians though, so we shouldn't feel bad about it. As I said, we are the good guys after all. Some people might have issue with that comment, but they're wrong. We're just saving them from starvation. Yeah. But like it's such a good game. We're only going to do a couple of the Soviet ones straight up, because there is a separate campaign that I really love. Oh, do we have to literally kill all the civilians? Ooh, yikes. Yeah, there's no problems with that. War Crime Simulator. There we go. So we done that one. I'm actually going to quit out. I can't remember 2. I think 2 is actually really easy. Look at 100% efficiency. Done it in seconds, didn't have to build a single troop. Did that pretty much in about the same as I did before. I saved like 30 seconds over my first time. It does save your progress though. So guard duty north and south. There is 2. You can have different maps for the same mission, which is really cool. It does somewhat adjust up. Now here we go, this is another one that's fairly interesting. Show the ending video for that for mission 1. It's a classic. Give me a second, I'll go back to it after I do this one. I forgot that you have to watch the FMV before actually getting this one of it.
And the Allies with only 3 divisions hold you off.
At the rate of our noble comrades' advance, we will occupy all
Now,
of
Gridenko is a tool.
3 days.
He very clearly shows that he's a tool. He doesn't mind being a tool, but he's kind of a tool. Makes you feel you really are the good guys. And now this is a guy who, you didn't see him in the first game that I just played, but that is the big bad of the first game, who's basically whispering in Stalin's ear. The story behind Kane, who that big bald guy is, who is, honest to God, one of the most...
Inefficient as we fear. That plant was our primary site.
what's the
Will there
word
be
I'm
enough
looking for?
nerve
Not
gas left to proceed
compelling
with our plot?
antagonists,
What
but
about Einstein? Is his propulsion
like you
system
can't help
research
but
still
kind of
on
revere
schedule?
him. And they absolutely nailed the casting for him. The guy literally styles himself as Kane in real life, basically. If anyone was to be a cult leader in real life, it would probably be that guy. Yuri was also a good one. I quite liked Yuri. He was a wee bit wacky at the time when it came out, but overall it was pretty damn good. Also, don't forget to vote this up, right? You can't not vote this up.
I don't know
Anyone
what
who
Einstein is.
votes it down,
Yet.
I don't
But
know
I do
what's
know
wrong
we
with you.
betrayed our
I can
cause.
imagine
We have tracked him
there
down
will
in
be a
one
couple
where
of
he
people that
undoubtedly
have an
wants to
issue with the
rendezvous
fact it's a
with his
remaster
bosses.
that's been played. Like I think
He
someone
must
had
die a
mentioned that
traitor's death.
remasters shouldn't be an
Get a
option for
Krieger
this,
and
but
use
they
the
are
dogs to
wrong,
sniff out the
right? I'm
crowd
sorry,
before
but they're
he can
wrong.
take refuge in a safe
Already
place.
given it a Sweden flag. Good job, Dev's Head. Vote up as a Brazilian flag, right? No, don't you dare, Craywin. Now I did make a comment on the Vice City run where if anyone voted down they would be basically bullying a cripple, because right now with my hearing impaired like it is just bullying. It is just bullying. And I said that I would deal with anyone who voted down. Now I'm not spoiling anything for later, but let's just say there will be some stuff touched on later. Now, we have doggos. We have lovely doggos. I absolutely love the dogs in this game. They're not particularly good, but who doesn't love a wee doggo? I believe it was Quintuple that was going on about how there's no dogs in anyone else's game but his, and as you can see here, he is just categorically wrong.
Unit lost.
God damn it. Oh, it was a freaking grenade. We just killed our own doggo.
Lost.
Yes, ready and wait. Agreed. At once. Reporting orders. At once.
Unit
Oh no, I did it again. We may actually lose this, but this is an interesting wee mission. We're basically hunting down a spy who will keep on outdoing us. Like, we're not going to get there in time before the guy gets away. Like the doggos when they're running are quicker. Oh, well, there we go. It's an ambush.
Waiting orders.
lost.
We've actually lost. I physically can't complete the mission now with that happening.
Yes, sir.
So that one's actually really hard as well. But we're gonna go back. We're gonna do. I think it was this. This one, where we're gunning down running civilians. Oh, as I said, we are the good guys. We will probably return that teddy to the to the kid that just dropped it. You know, silly kids. You know what they're like, always dropping their toys. But as the good guys, we will return that. I can give you my word as a good person that we will return that, right? Because we're good people. What one is it over here? The Caucasus Islands. Remember that one actually being really hard, because if you don't get to the islands first, you're kind of screwed. Nuclear reactors. Oh, this one. Now I believe it was Lucky that's ran this one, and if you don't do anything at the beginning of this mission, it goes kind of wrong.
So? When? Is the core safe? You must stand your ground. Stop them! The Allies attacked the Commence nuclear reactor.
I'm on my way.
No, it's too important.
You're too dumb, sir. You're too dumb.
They shut off the coolant systems. The core will
What
soon go
time,
critical.
and thank you, Ninja. Have a
Must
good
get
one, buddy.
Inside the reactor and get the coolant towers back online.
Now, I would have liked to have a lot more time to like properly show off a lot of this game and the first one, but I only get like 4 hours unfortunately, because by the time second games were opened up, all the big slots had been taken, with the exception of the end of the marathon, which I can't do because I go to summer school. I believe it's on the 15th that starts, which is roughly when all the actual slots were opened. Now if I don't do anything, you fail. If I don't move, you just straight up fail. Which, yikes. Especially if you've got the game on faster than usual. Like that, I physically can't move fast enough. Philip Young has cheated by picking good games. I have, right? Because that was the thing, right? Oh yeah, no wonder it's in fast.
Yes, sir, at once. Unit lost.
Now I'm gonna restart that one. I just need to move them away in time, and then I can bump the speed back up a little bit.
Timer started. Yes, sir, at once. 30 agreed.
But even like that was almost instant, and look how close that still was.
Affirmative.
Now we can't physically come back and fight them here. So we have to outsmart them with our giant monkey Brian.
Reporting. Affirmative.
So we let them start to do that, and then we're like, how do you freaking like it, buddy?
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
We have a bunch of doggos, but they're all trapped because the allies are the bad guys because they hate doggos. I believe it's up this. Oh no.
Agreed.
Is that that way I need to go?
Affirmative. At once. Very well. Ready and
I'll be able
waiting.
to sneak one of my wee guys past.
Very well.
If I go here,
Very well. Very
I
well.
go here, possibly. Ow.
Agreed.
But we made it. Now that is the actual challenge that we need to do. Oh no, I need to do that with I'm an idiot. Oh, you're dead, buddy. I'm sorry. Right, you just live here now.
Ready and waiting.
Not necessarily. I think maybe in here.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
I can only kill one of them with that, unfortunately.
Very well. Agreed. Agreed.
But we also have. Unfortunately, you're gonna be hearing a lot of dead dog noises in a second, and I apologise for that. I really do, because for all these doggos that we have, there's gonna be some casualties. Now they do go very fast when they're on the attack.
Unit lost.
And then we can whack you.
Reporting.
I think one of you guys can activate that for something. And any part of any military base. I mean, they're not just explosive barrels, right? They're probably like petrol or whatever, right? And then that's what we need to destroy you. And now you're full health again, so technically we didn't screw up by doing that. Pretty sure if we try run down here, yeah, we get immediately killed.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. At once. Affirmative.
Get out here, Rocket Man.
Awaiting orders.
No time
Affirmative.
for your shenanigans.
Agreed.
I think it's down here again, so I'm pretty sure there is a...
Affirmative.
Yeah, it's just a way around it. I could have saved that one guy that just died. Capitalist dogs do not go to heaven.
Reporting. Very
All
well.
dogs go to heaven. I always thought that was weird, but it's, they have to have that to power the turrets that will happen, because you cannot get past Tanya, right? Tanya's here. She will kill whatever tries to come at her. She is incredibly horrible to try to deal with.
Awaiting orders. Very well.
Trying to remember how it is you deal with up here, because you have to come up here to get engineers, I believe it is, and another infantryman.
Agreed. Affirmative. Affirmative. Very well.
And get them away the hell away from there.
Waiting orders. Very well.
And now we have to go and activate the coolant towers, which I believe will deploy, is it a Tesla tower or a bunch of flame towers? Something spawns here to kill them. I will show off Tanya, actually. I'm not going to send the doggos against her. I'm going to send a bunch of my men against her.
Control center deactivated. Control center deactivated.
2.
Waiting orders.
Now, let's see how Tanya deals with my men, right?
Unit lost.
Yeah, just
Mission
instantly.
failed.
What do you mean mission failed? I still had one. Bullshit. Well, we get to see this mission again. So I want to see that ending.
Timer started. 30 minutes remaining.
Are we?
Affirmative.
Freaking bull crap. Must have been the original men that I lost.
Affirmative. Ready and waiting. Of course. Reporting
It's
once.
fine.
Agreed. Affirmative.
But I mean, we know what to do now. Nice and quick. After this, I'm probably going to have to start the campaign that I want to do, because I do have some
At once. Awaiting orders.
extra
At
stuff
once.
that I plan to do.
Unit
Crap.
lost.
Agreed. At once.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir.
Mission failed again, yeah, that one's fair. That one's fair. Messed that one up pretty badly. But the...
Timer started.
Yes, sir. Ready and waiting.
Oh, it freaking lagged as I went to grab them there. So I should probably make it. Does it every freaking... No.
Unit lost.
Restart again. I had to actually slow it down for this bit, because this is a lot faster than what the game was when it starts. So you have like so much less time to actually move them than you did in the original. Like that's all. Literally all you need to do is just get that command going, and they can move in time. Look at that full health. Yeah, we'll make it look a little bit nicer, but honestly, it doesn't like really improve them that much because the model's still kind of held up today.
Of course. Yes, sir.
Wait, kill all them. We now the red alerts, like this one starts to get a little wacky. You'll see in the campaign that it starts to get a lot wacky. You see when you see. But basically, the red alert ones were the kind of joke. Right now we're just gonna be silly kind of spin-off type of it. I'm gonna put you over there. Oh crap! Actually, need to do killing of that. Send one of you around here. Honestly, I could probably just send like a bunch of them. What are you going that way for, you dumbass? I get why are you going that way?
Unit lost. Unit lost.
There we go. 3 should be enough to kill.
Unit lost.
There we go, and then move you up. Go over there with you. A bunch of doggies still alive because I'm a good person. There's a few people that have not seen Space. I can't imagine how you haven't seen Space. I think that's is that Red Alert 2 where you've got him who's like a pretty famous actor. We're gonna need more doggos for up there, unfortunately.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
We can probably back it on to the fastest to finish this one now. Tim Curry, that was it. Tim, was it Red Alert 3? Yeah, it must have been. At least the Space one. I believe Red Alert 3 is where you have the Japanese also join in. They become like super powered. after the Hitler gets taken out, and they eventually invade the Soviets with like mecha attack bots and Gundams and all that crap, which is kind of funny. I do think you can get the dogs to eat your own people. Yeah, you can get the dogs to eat your own people, which you would only do if you're a bad person. So other than that one time, we're not going to do that, right? Oh yeah, the magical girls. It just went full on wacky. Now, I like wacky sometimes, but I didn't enjoy it quite as much as I enjoy the kind of more grittier
Control center.
Command and Conquer, first kind of series, the Tiberium series. That should have activated something to kill her. Yeah, there we go. Now she will just jump between these, killing them constantly, but then she can't last forever. And that's us. It went a little bit too far into the wacky for me. Yeah, Einstein get taken out and that made the timeline wackier. It was just such a bonkers set of games, Red Alert 2 and 3. But good, right? They were still enjoyable. They were still good good games. I do prefer the Tiberium series though over the Red Alert series. Red Alert 3 gave me the rare opportunity to flatten Amsterdam though. See, that's worth a Sweden alone. I can't believe that this marathon has now made it so that a positive would be a Sweden. That just doesn't feel right. Now, there is other campaigns up here, right? You've got the Allies, which are the good, supposedly the good guys. They're not the good guys, but supposedly the good guys. You get the Soviets, the true good guys. You have the Retaliation expansion. This was a separate disc. It was a straight up separate game back in my day, but here it's flung in as a kind of DLC that you don't have to pay for, which is better than what it was, right? We'll fling one of these on for like a second. I think they do still have cutscenes, maybe. Or is this one in particular? I think this one just goes straight into the game. Sure, it's time for Allies 1 so you can show off Tanya. You know what, you make a good point. You make a good point. I'll probably do that in a second. I'm not going to do this one. But it is a really interesting one. I do like ones where you have like kind of crippled bases at the start. Retaliation introduced chrono tanks. These are mad tanks. They look like mammoth tanks, but basically they detonate and they'll destroy everything in a nearby area. But yeah, chrono tanks, you can literally just teleport. I love the chrono tanks. They're really fun. Not all that strong. They do a lot of damage, but they are very, very weak. But as you can see, the Soviets get just absolutely busted weaponry. I think they're immune to damage right now, yeah. That's the Iron Curtain, mad tank. The reason they're doing that is because this guy literally just comes up, he starts gyrating furiously, and he bonks, and that damages literally everything in the map. Well, not in the map, but near enough in the map. I believe spam, and no, was it? No, it was just mammoth tanks. I'm remembering that wrong. But yeah, Soviets absolutely busted.
Battle control terminated.
Now, I believe this is one with Tanya. And then after this, we'll go on to the true campaign. This is the Allied headquarters. and I believe that's the highest ranking general, and then there's a Greek Commander Stavros here, who I don't know if he's commander, and he is the guy who kills Hitler. And then we've got Tanya here. I forget who Tanya actually is played by. I feel like it's a sort of semi-famous actress.
This is Tanya Adams.
But this one's just for pseudo. I don't really care about this Tanya. This Tanya. Like, I ain't a massive simp like our man Strudel there.
Somewhere inside this research center, the Soviets hold Albert
And
Einstein.
in this one, they've captured
back
Einstein,
immediately.
and we have to
Get
go.
Tanya
We have to go
inside.
get him back.
So
We're
she can
literally
get
just listening to
Einstein
the
out.
FMV for this because I don't
Once
have
you
enough
locate
time.
him,
I've only got
bring
like
him back
another
to a
hour and
drop
45
for
minutes to
immediate
do my
evacuation.
campaign.
Be careful.
So I'm actually gonna straight up stop this one. I don't have the time
Battle control.
because we're also not doing the retaliation version of these. We are doing this one. I'm just gonna let the game show you itself. I'll explain a little bit more after it starts. We'll have a wee drink, but
Is this some kind of a joke? You got ants in your pants, call an exterminator. I'm on vacation. What? How big? Casualties? What do you mean the southern perimeter's been compromised? Listen up, soldier. If we lose England, it's not going to be to a bunch of pinko ants. I don't care how big. Look, I don't care how you do it, son. I'd piss on a spark plug if I thought it'd do any good. You just tell your men to get out there and kick some ass.
now this campaign isn't very long, but it is really fun. They always had these FMVs. I remember these from when I was a kid. But they always had these FMVs. That isn't a new FMV. Lost contact with one of our outposts before it went offline. We received a brief communication about giant ants. We're unsure what to make of this report, so we want you to investigate. Scout the area, bring the outpost back online, report your findings. If there is a threat, reinforcements will be sent to help you. Keep the base functional and radio contact open. We don't want to lose the outpost again. Yeah, right? Genuine nightmare fuel. Now, we only start with these little guys right here. I can't remember if this is similar to.
Ready and waiting.
Right, so we don't get. I believe there is still churches that have money, but just not this one. Now, one of my favourite things about this set of levels, especially this first one, is that you can't build your base up. What you have is all you get. Now, and one of the first things I do is I'll grab that. I would normally never consider that. And then spam out rifles. Oh, that's a restart. That is just straight up a restart. Might still be a little bit too fast. The game really wasn't designed to be played at those super fast speeds. Because it was balanced around the opening when it was first released. So the fact that you can go faster now just gives you a lot less time to actually do the stuff you need to. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab you here, fling you over there, buy a bunch of you,
30 minutes.
buy you, get repairing.
Building. Unit ready.
Reporting at once. Reporting at once.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Bring you here.
Reporting. Vehicle acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Base is under attack.
Reporting. Very
Unit
well.
Now, 100% the
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
best thing to do here is just spam infantry. They are the most cost effective. One of the things I really like about this set of missions in particular is you've got like choke points that are currently sealed off, technically, but they don't stay sealed off.
Ready and waiting. Affirmative.
I believe
Yes, sir.
like 10 men each side. Oh no, that one doesn't. It gets sealed off in the next mission. Because the next mission is really fun. What they do...
Unit ready.
Waiting order.
Training.
That's as well.
Unit ready.
What they do is they make it the same map, and it's only something I've seen in a very few other games, mostly being a game called Warzone 2100 did it, where your map doesn't change really from game to game or mission to mission. It changes, it expands, and all the stuff you've built up just gets expanded on. It's a really nice system for Warzone 2100. That was actually one of the games I was considering playing instead of this, but it was in a different thingy. Now these one-shot them, they're really useful. I'm a big fan. Also, just go grab a medic for this mission as well. Normally medics and infantry are just things you don't buy, but on this one, it's really good. Now we do need to watch. That's the reason there that we have the medics. Completely screwed that up, but they're not supposed to be that close to the thing itself. Got something to use. Go over there and make the doinks. I keep these guys here just in case. Sometimes they do get through the mines. The antagonizer is here for revenge. Yep, it's Fallout all over again. Yeah, you're mostly wanting infantry for this. Grab you. Send you up there. Repair you, and you. And then start looking at getting the firing over there. Trying to remember. There is another set of money, I believe. I mean, that's fine. Look at that. We're killing ants for such a good trade-off. I don't mind that one whatsoever. I believe if you mine off all of here, it comes in handy later.
Training. Unit ready. Training. Unit ready. Training.
But one of the big things I like about this is the units are kind of mixed. They're not the same as they would be in the base game. They kind of mix up a little bit there, which is for me it's interesting. I like that. I like it when they do that.
Yes, sir.
Agreed. Training. Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Unit
No, I
ready.
don't really like the
Training.
grenade guys. They tend to just mess up all your preparations. You can only have 5 men per square as well. Now we are going to send out a wee ranger to start looking. We are running out of money here, but there is another pile right here. And then using flat ammunition. I'm crashing. Just good luck. Oh, not good luck. Good night. They said. Are we going to be able to get all of them? Just. There we go. Overwhelming firepower will see us through for these.
Medic reporting. Moving out.
But yeah, funny you should mention Dune there, Franco. One of my favourite games other than this is another one that Westwood, I believe, did, which was Command and Conquer, Dune 2000. It's very similar to this, but it's set in the Dune universe, which is immediately it's a big plus, right? Like immediately that's pretty good.
Unit ready.
But on top of that, it's also got the fact that it expands on a bunch of stuff, and it has a lot of kind of slightly more unique systems. I'm trying to think off the top of my head what they would be. There's 3 separate factions. You've got the Ordos, which I don't believe are really featured in the Dune universe that much, if any. I think it was just an extra faction they wanted for the
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
the thing, but they really work. I really like them. They're really enjoyable.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Very well.
Unit ready.
They're a lot weaker, but they have a lot of mercenaries and stuff,
Insufficient
which is pretty cool. I do like it when games do that.
Unit lost.
You get the evil Harkonnen, or the insidious Harkonnen,
Acknowledged.
who are freaking brutal, just like in the actual game, and then the noble Atreides, who are pretty cool as well. They ally with the Freemen, who are really strong, really fun game, and it's very much based on this.
Yes, sir.
Please no, please no, leave man alone.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative. At once.
Behind
Yes, sir.
that, you go up here. There is another pile of, I believe it's called, not spice, type, no, it's not tiberium either. What is that?
Affirmative.
I think it's just ore. It's called. You go over there and
Moving out.
right now the point of this mission
Training.
is literally survive,
Unit
right?
ready.
It's,
Yes, sir.
you know, the
Training.
Halo Reach meme of
Unit ready.
objective survive.
Training. Unit ready.
And it's kind of hard. It's genuinely pretty hard. If you don't know what you're doing,
Awaiting orders.
this can be
Affirmative.
quite rough.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Like I knew to grab this mine layer
Acknowledged.
early and plant these down. He saved me having to man this like crazy, because that's one of the worst spots you get attacked from.
Reporting.
I'll also need to put something up here as well, but I mean, there we go, like 3 dunks there.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Moving out.
There, cover them.
Training. Unit ready.
Yes,
Use
sir.
3
Training.
up
Very
here
well.
just in
Unit
case.
ready.
I doubt they're going to get through, but you know, just,
Awaiting orders.
you never know, you never know. These ones will cover there, so we're pretty much set.
Training.
But we do need to spam
Unit
out, because
ready.
we do get,
Training.
to keep all
Unit
these units, once the mission ends,
Insufficient funds.
we 100% get
Unit
to keep
ready.
these.
Building.
Awaiting orders.
So it's good to get a good number of them up, because you're not fighting another faction ever in this. You only fight the ants.
Yes, sir.
You come together to fight the ants,
Lost.
as it were.
Unit
Let's
lost.
destroy that wee bridge. I think this one, if we destroy it, we get
Acknowledged.
something.
Unit ready.
Maybe, can't remember.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
It's not off the top of my head. But yeah, as you've seen there,
Yes, sir.
I got them just in time, or they can break down
Vehicle reporting.
the trees, and they will start flooding
Building.
into my base with that.
Training.
Awaiting
So
affirmative.
you don't give me any extra.
10
I feel like
minutes.
one of the places around here give you extra. Oh, it's here. There's like a little ore place here. Yeah, there we go. And one of these open up to give me money. There we go.
Reporting.
Unit ready.
So
Training.
grab you as well.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Oh crap! I get hit here pretty badly with flame ones.
Reporting.
Forgot the flame ones sometimes come this way,
Reporting.
which is rough because the flame ones are like
Training.
literally the only threat.
Unit ready. Training. Unit lost.
Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Unit
Acknowledged.
ready.
Now rangers are
Training.
fun to use.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
They're really fast, but they do like no damage.
Unit
They just
ready.
get shredded.
Training.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
I mean, yeah, they can kite, but it's such a weak
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
thing that it's just not useful in any way.
Yes, sir.
In
Affirmative.
any tangible way, at
Reporting.
least.
Yes, sir.
There's another 5. We go over that way.
Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Oh,
Insufficient
broke through
funds.
here as well. You 5 go that way as well.
Vehicle reporting.
We just need to keep an eye out for those
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
flame ones, and we should be fine now. Still got another 7 minutes. At like I believe it's like the 5-minute mark, you get absolutely flooded with ants. Yeah, there we go. I think that's it, starting a wee bit early. How many is that? What, 5? That's more than you normally have to deal with.
Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir.
Unit
Yes, sir.
ready.
Vehicle reporting.
Luckily, there is no chance they can get through
Unit ready. Unit
the defences I've put up.
Unit
Yes, sir.
ready.
He says as they probably are about to get through the defences he puts up. No, the donks alone here. saved me from a bunch of them. That was what, 3 of them dead out of the 5.
Yes, sir.
That's kind of bad. That's kind of bad.
Yes, sir. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Another thing I used to do with all these was
Unit ready.
have
Training
orders.
a ranger behind these because he can shoot over them just fine.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Ready and
We'll do
waiting.
something
Agreed.
similar
Yes,
here.
sir. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders.
Go back there and put more donks.
Acknowledged.
That's the sound it makes. I can't hear the sound it makes, but I remember it makes a donk sound.
Yes, sir.
You
Agreed.
guys can move there.
Yes, sir. Reporting. Affirmative.
Come on, there we go.
Affirmative.
But this is just such a fun game, such a fun and wacky game as well, right? Uh-oh.
Affirmative. Reporting. Yes, sir. At once. Agreed. Reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Double donk? Oh my god, thank god.
Affirmative.
As I said,
Yes, sir.
they are
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
the worst to deal with.
3 minutes remaining.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Now luckily
Affirmative.
the ants don't actually attack you if you don't get too
Acknowledged.
close to them,
Affirmative.
unless they are set to the attack,
Affirmative.
so we should be fine.
Ready and waiting. Yes, sir. Agreed.
Also, Franco, while you're here,
Yes, sir.
what the hell, man? You voted down Vice City? Did you even watch it? It's such a freaking good VOD, and it's such a good game. Literally nothing but back-to-back laughs,
Agreed.
which is exactly what you want in your kind of wacky game, right?
Unit ready.
Can't believe you to vote down
Affirmative. Be reporting.
a bro. Couldn't have been more disappointed. We'll get to that more later though.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Can anyone tell me who's on after me, by the way?
Affirmative.
I do have something planned and I'm worried I'm not going to have the time for it, so I might need a little extra. Not long. Not so much for the
Yes,
game,
sir.
but for
Affirmative.
another part. Now this is by far the hardest one of the missions. Other than this you don't really have too much trouble.
On hold. Cancel. Building.
But it's super fun.
Reinforcements
GTA
have
2 is the
arrived.
best. Yeah, GTA 2 was great. I also played GTA 2.
Reinforcements
But here we go.
Yes, sir.
And this is our reinforcements. The game should complete in a couple of seconds.
Mission
There we go.
accomplished.
Bane with Dune. Oh. We'll find out you downvoted this game. Oh, you downvoted this one, fan? Come on, buddy. Factorial's boring as hell.
Affirmative.
Like, it's just not a fun game. Now, this is one of the things I really like about this mission in particular, right? Like, everything I've done, it saves it, right? All of it saved it. Maybe messes with the area a little bit, but overall, it saves all the progress and all the things we've done, which I think is really cool. Now, we have a mission for this one, and it's to save civilians because we are the good guys.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
I reckon I'm going to get quite a few downvotes in this one because people are going to be like, oh my god, Factorial, it's such a great game, even though I literally play it to let it play itself. I didn't find it endlessly really in the same lines all that fun. I mean, it wasn't unfun, it's tactical. I could have done it without it, but I just enjoy doing that myself personally. Oops, get out of there, you.
Unit ready. Building.
Yeah, that was one thing I loved about this one, and when you're the allies you can build a bunch of fake factories and stuff. Right, pillboxes. You pretty much only really need pillboxes here. The turrets just aren't that good. Give me some power plants.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Let me start shooting up down here.
Construction
Acknowledged.
complete.
Reporting. Affirmative. Awaiting
Yeah.
orders. Agreed.
It starts to expand. Wait.
Reporting. Agreed.
Oh wait, it's physically impossible to get down here, so we don't need to go down here anymore. Can I remove those donks?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so it's more space for it to actually thingy. Now,
Very well.
where can I place you? I think it's down here I normally place you. No, it's not. I'm on our rim. Get some pillboxes up. Give them a list of reserve voters to call out. Yeah, don't worry. We will be dealing with those who did not have faith.
Building. On hold.
Awaiting orders.
Cancel.
Yes, sir.
Disgraceful.
Yes, sir. Awaiting orders.
Now this one is actually kind of
On hold.
a pain because not only do we have to save a bunch of villagers, we also have to take out the nests. Well, not take out the nests as you might. Oh no, that's what I usually do. I usually send this construction site up here. I take it over to this place that's completely safe.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Right.
Reporting. Agreed.
Just a bunch of ants coming. Now we've got extra pillboxes. They just never really get close.
Complete. Building.
I'm actually going to remove you. Don't need any of yous, so we can start sending all of them out this way as well.
Yes, sir.
Start securing the civvies.
Building.
There is some people that have just literally been downvoting everything, which is really sad.
Construction complete.
Like, I judge each game itself by its own merits. Like, is this a game that looks fun? Is kind of what I've been going with. Honestly, the few that I've downvoted have been straight up due to them being up against people that I like. Not games that I like, just people that I like, because I'm kind of petty that way.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Construction complete.
I have my favourites. Because I'm a bad person. Not can.
Building.
I don't know why I'm building that there.
Unit ready.
I'll build 2 of them and delete you.
Construction sold.
Yes, sir.
Get rid as well.
Construction complete. Unit
I'll
lost.
pull these ones out because they stop spawning down here. We don't really need to worry about them down here. Don't want particular to downvote anything.
Construction complete.
Actually surprised with me. There was a couple that got really badly downvoted. I was surprised with. Jake getting downvoted, I was super surprised with. Heldens had a lot of downvotes, which I'm guessing is just people simping for Jake, because Mass Effect doesn't deserve that sort of hate. It's genuinely a pretty good game, even like all the shit talking aside. So I don't get why the hate was there for that, especially. Because it really doesn't deserve it. It's a good game, 100%. Now, speaking of being good, we're here to save the civilians, and that is what we shall do. Those other ones. You guys get in here, you guys get in here. We only need to save like one. Oh my god. Flame ants coming at us.
Yes, sir. Very well.
Rip them.
Acknowledged.
I could have sworn those are not yellows, there's the other group.
Okay. Reporting. Yes, sir.
I don't remember these guys spawning when I did the test of this one. Is there any more down here? No. Oh no! I ran out of that.
Vehicle reporting. Yeah, okay.
That's what we'll get you guys done.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Thank God he's dirt. He's trying to attack that. He physically can't get through the concrete wall. Fire doesn't beat concrete, as everyone knows. Now we've got our civilians safe in here. We're going to move this civilians over here. These are like smoke type things that kill any of the guys that try to get near it, so anything that's there is safe. Right, you're beating up there. I'm probably going to get the second truck to go over there when it's finished as well.
On hold. Cancel. Building.
Here. Where's that second one? Did it get stuck? Did it die?
Reporting.
Am I blind? There's a mine layer. Hopefully there's a truck. With my PC.
Unit lost.
Did it die? Surely it didn't die.
Yes, sir.
It probably died.
Vehicle acknowledged.
So
Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
luckily all you need to do is save literally one. That's all it takes to win it. It's just to save one. One civilian from the 2 villages, so that village up there. That one's a little bit harder to do. Opposed to the other ones. Really, where did that APC go? It must have died. I can't believe that.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Right, we can't attack that area, so that's fine.
Yes, sir.
We've got a few more infantry.
Reporting.
Yes, sir. Now these aren't flame ants, they just look like flame ants. These are warrior ants, which are just a lot tougher. I think they're a little faster as well.
Yes, sir.
They're going to be a real trouble in the next mission. They spawn like crazy. They're really annoying to deal with.
Reporting. Affirmative. Reporting at once.
But luckily over here,
Very well.
there is a bunch of free money.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Very well.
I
Affirmative. Yes,
believe
sir.
$6 grand worth of free money for me
Building.
to buy a bunch of tanks with.
Very well. Reporting. Agreed.
I don't know why they're next to destroyable trucks, but we don't question it. Now we can grab a bunch more
Unit ready. Building.
of everything, because we need the tanks to destroy the bridges.
Unit
Because we need to destroy each one of the bridges that these ants are coming from.
Training.
Which again, is just more interesting than normal kind of missions that you would have to do.
Repair.
Going after all my freaking stuff. What are they like? What are they like? We've got a bunch of troops. Let's get them ready. Put them in position.
Ready. Building.
You guys, let's deal with these ants that are here.
Very well. Affirmative.
Obviously I might grab another refinery and put it over like this side so it can go here and actually get this stuff, because now this place is safe. There's pretty much nothing that's going to be spawning over there now.
Reporting. Very well.
Unit lost.
But yeah, luckily this one isn't that long, so I will be able to finish it in time. It was basically the only thing I could think of to actually have time to finish my game. 4 hours is honestly still a little tight for what I wanted to actually kind of show off in this one.
Insufficient
Crap.
Unit lost.
Come on, keep your passing. Yeah, thank God.
Unit ready. Building.
Vehicle reporting.
There we have a bunch of tanks.
Reporting.
Construction complete.
Move them all out over here.
Yes, sir. Awaiting orders.
I'm actually going to remove these two
Construction sold.
so that they can get out a wee bit easier,
Building.
and then move them
Vehicle
up.
reporting. Affirmative. Ready and waiting at once.
I need to distract while the APC goes round there. I just need to save like
Unit
one
ready.
group of them, which I do plan to do.
Construction complete.
Get an extra,
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
extra couple of things
Yes, sir.
ready.
Acknowledged. Ready and waiting.
Kind of missions you use for forces to over with either flying or naval units. Thankfully it didn't. That would have been an absolute pain. I do like this as a kind of jokey little meme
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Agreed.
that they don't take too seriously or too far. I'm glad they don't do that.
Affirmative.
Was that an extra?
Yes, sir.
What are you doing there? Go for there or something. Right, so we've got our 3.
Vehicle reporting.
So we
Unit
should be
ready.
flying out
Awaiting
these,
orders.
Building.
Affirmative.
these tanks like crazy now.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Let's have everything
Yes,
over
sir.
here.
Very well. Yes, sir. At once. At once.
Unit lost.
Which would just absolutely destroy the ants so quickly.
Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Except for the warrior ants. The warrior ants are kind of rough to deal with.
Reporting.
Now, for the longest time, I didn't know as a kid how to destroy these bridges. They're kind of not really that clear as to how to defeat them. But basically, you have to do this. You have to force fire on them. Oh no 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 no! The bridge, not the tank. And as long as you hit it in one of these 4 spots, this one, this one, this one, and this one, eventually it blows up. But that, as you can see, is kind of rough to do. You're getting attacked the entire time. They're constantly spawning out of the free burrows here when you do that, which is kind of rough. You guys kill these warrior ants as they run past, and then move up as we start getting the other guys into position.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge.
I'm not sure, but I think that they stop spawning if you just certain ones if you destroy the bridges that would have had them coming over them. Oh, that's beautiful. The warrior ants just getting slaughtered. They're so annoying to deal with. It's really nice to see that.
Our base is under attack.
Oh crap.
Low power. Building. On hold. Cancel. Building. On hold.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Imagine ants as big as tanks. It's genuinely terrifying, right? Like, that would be genuinely terrifying with how strong ants are.
Yes, sir. Vehicle affirmative. Yes, sir.
Funds.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledge.
Keep on going, keep on going.
Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Yes, sir.
It's a shame because I would have liked to have went through a bunch of the a bunch of curated missions to show off the game a lot better, which unfortunately couldn't really do with the amount of time that I was given. Which honestly, I get cut out of a lot of my stuff this marathon. Pizza stole one of my hours. The hour after my one was actually supposed to be mine. I had said to Jake for it. But I think he misunderstood and he gave it to Pizza, because Pizza immediately asked for the hour after me, because he's a sneaky bugger, because he knows that it's a lot easier to obviously dunk on someone once they can no longer dunk back, right? Like, you know, just rude, just real rude, man. But you know, smart, right? Smart. You're gonna do it right. And he did a really good dunk. I was pretty happy with it. I was in stitches for a good chunk of his. Oh, crap, get out of there. But it kinda sucked not being able to properly show this off as much as I would like to do. You know that fundraiser, I don't think anyone donated to the monkeys. You guys should all be ashamed. Don't donate to the monkeys. I'm joking, right? Because genuinely, it is a link to help the Conservatives, and like, that's not a good thing. Like, please don't, right? They don't need the money. Of all the people to be fundraising, the Conservatives, who are just like rich, posh people, refraining myself pretty hard there, they don't need your money, right? They don't care about the monkey. As a friend of Monkey, I can guarantee you they have no love or care for the monkey. There's my APC! I thought it got destroyed! It was hiding! God damn you little bugger. There you go.
Preparing. Unit ready.
Yeah, I may be saying that he's pretty okay with the money, yeah. How was Spyro? I wanted to sleep after the end of Vice City because it's an awkward time zone difference. He speed-ran it in about 2.5 minutes. He completed it twice in the space of like 10 minutes, basically. It's not a good game. He knew it wasn't a good game. He didn't want it to be a good game, he just wanted it to be a funny stream. Because before Jake came up with the Misery Marathon, the Mockery Marathon was originally the title that he was hoping for. Which, personally, I prefer. but I very much agree with Jake not doing the Mockery Marathon. No offence to a lot of people in the community, but they really can't take a joke. I'm not naming names, I don't want anyone to be called out, because I can't be bothered dealing with the backlash of it, because it's kind of silly. But there is a lot of people in the community that will like get their panties in a bunch over like the smallest things, and it's just, to me, it's really silly. I know I can be quite loud about certain things, but like people that say stuff, unless they're like genuinely being like having a go or trying to kind of personal attack, if someone takes the piss out of me, I will, to the best of my ability, try to kind of just kind of heartily take the piss back. But there is people that just straight up instantly offended, instantly mad, and that's you. You're done.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Prepared.
Yeah, like I've had so far 2 streams that the majority of it went to just trying to mock me, and I luckily I can take it, but I imagine if that was done to like a bunch of other people in the community, they would like have straight up like lost it. If you want to know where I stand in the 2 mockeries that I had of me, I love them. I love it. Pizza has a bad monkey emote for me, and I think it is about one of the biggest compliments you can have, is to have someone have an entire emote to just trying to take the piss out of you. A bit like what FG's has with the cat, but all it does is kind of make him look like he's really into furries. And the fact that he on his stream is playing a furry, and like he might be saying, yeah, he's mocking me with it, but it just kind of makes him look like a furry, which is even funnier to me. It's like a backfire of it. It's given me a great deal of pleasure laughing at that. So like, I very much love the mockery, the piss taking, within reason. There is some people that kind of take it a bit too far. I'm one of those people, admittedly, that sometimes goes a little hard, which is another reason why I'm really glad that he didn't go with the Mockery Marathon, because sometimes I go a little hard when it comes to taking the piss. I can think of like Helden as a good example of that for me. There was a few times in the past where I have like been taking the piss out of Helden, and Helden is really good at taking jokes normally, and he just didn't appreciate it. He was very unhappy with me, and he was right. I took it far too far, and he was fairly right to be annoyed about it. There we go, second mission done. 2 left. I think the last one is pretty short. But just a reminder to people, you don't need to downvote this one if you like Factorial, and you don't need to downvote Factorial if you like this one. You can vote for all of the 3 of them that are in this year. Like, you're not restricted to only voting for certain ones.
Construction options.
That would be kinda silly.
Construction complete.
And thankfully that's not a thing that you're expected to do. Right, I believe I actually really badly need all these infantry to be out of here.
Construction complete. New construction
A bunch of infantry.
Training.
And then get a bunch of refinery.
Training. Building. Unit ready.
Kind of silly as a good description of this community.
Training.
Sounds like I do not want to play Factorial. I played Factorial on in the MP, and it was just so boring. I'm sorry. I'm sure people like really love that game, right? But why? Why? It's a game about automating it so you don't have to play it. How is that fun? I have 2 times as many speed as other years. Yeah, there's some that are just like, there's some that people went into it and they're like, right, I want to try convince people round to my game, so this is what I'm gonna do. And then there's some that is like, I'm just gonna pick a good game that I loved and the chances are people already kind of loved it, right? I'm not German enough to appreciate Factorio. I'm not boring enough to appreciate it. Like, there's so many good games. Why is that the one you go for? Now, these wee guys, I've got a limited number of them. I've only got, like, what, 8? Or 6? 7? There we go. Got there eventually.
Training.
So I have to be careful.
Training. Unit
and I can't just YOLO them into stuff, which is exactly what I plan to do.
Training. Unit ready.
The arbitrariness and easily triggered part of the community can be really funny at times. It can be, yeah, 100%. I do love that Jake's mockery of Helden like immediately like properly backfired, and he immediately got like one of the most voted down games of the. In fact, I think it is the most voted down game of the marathon, and quite rightly, right? It's not a good, interesting game. It's kind of like Factorio. It's just kind of boring. Like it's not a bad game, right? I'm not saying I'm genuinely not saying to vote down Factorio, because it's not a bad game. It doesn't deserve a BR, right? It's not a bad enough game to deserve a BR. But it's not really deserving of a positive one.
Yes, sir.
There is just more interesting games. A lot more interesting games.
Construction complete.
Like this one that comes with 3 of them.
Building.
Who doesn't want that? Now I am gonna try something. It's a risky move, Cotton. Let's see how it pays off. But there's a good chance it's gonna go terribly. I have to micro this guy the entire time.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Which I think we may have failed.
Affirmative.
Come on, get there, get there, get there. I think I've done it, I think I've done it, I think I've done it.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yeah.
And now they can't kill me.
Yes, sir.
Haha! Tactical genius. That has saved me a lot of heart, because that regularly spawns really large numbers of them. So taking that out was pretty important. Oh crap, what am I doing? I know I need a lot more infantry to deal with these than I did. Their own personal dragon, except maybe Dragon's Dogma. I love Dragon's Dogma when it came out, but my god is it bad when you go back to play it. It's so boring. When you don't have the wonder of discovering all the stuff for the first time, it does not hold up whatsoever. It really doesn't. I'm sorry to that runner, but you picked a terrible game. I played Vice City and it's up against 2 questionable games.
Construction complete.
I don't know why you would pick Disciples. Disciples was the most boring thing I've ever watched in my life. I knew it was going to be that. I still gave him a Sweden, right? I've given both the people in my year who in fact, I'm pretty sure I've given everyone I'm competing against a Sweden. Because, you know, I'm not a chick. I know I kind of get accused of being a bad man and, you know, horrible human being and all that stuff. But, like, I'm not a bad person, right? I will support most people and pretty much anything. Unless they genuinely are crappy people that are just crappy people, I will support most things. And that even includes my competitors.
Construction complete.
Now, if someone wants to confirm that I've actually done that, I might have missed one of them. I'm thinking maybe I didn't upvote Spelunky, but I feel like I did. Because I like Quintuple. The thing for me as well, I've upvoted a lot more games than I've downvoted. You really have to be boring as a game for me to downvote you. You never support. I always support you, fan. You're just the one that you're always gunning for me. Have you not like downvoted a bunch of mine as well? We'll see who's downvoted a bunch of mine. That's all I'm gonna say. No, yeah, I was about to say you better be going up here for your stuff.
Construction complete. Building.
Yes, sir.
Do we have the ability to repair? No, we don't have a war factory yet.
Construction complete.
There must not be. He's kind of not a good person, honestly. There is a quote that I'll forever remember from Fan of Gaming, where he talks about two characters in a game raw dogging it, like crazy, you know, like the sexy times, and it's literally about two child fish. Post the fan thing. I'll post it after I get to the later part of my stream. I'm trying to kind of rush through this because I've only got an hour left. So I would like to have enough time to actually get a good bit of mockery in at the end. But yeah, I have saved that fan. I've pinned it in like 2 separate places to make sure it doesn't get forgotten. It's a belter. I love that that quote.
Unit lost.
I was just going out for the logic for the people you don't support as terrible people. That is true. I mean, no, that's not true. That's not true. A lot of the people that I haven't voted for are good people. Their games were just too boring. Like, I did originally have Jake downvoted as well because his game was boring as hell, but his mockery won it round for me. Like, I would like to point out, there was a bunch of people who had voted me up from my game because they were like, yeah, that's a really good game. And then Pizza did his thing, his charity thing for me, right? And it's like basically saying like, oh, Young has a really hard life. He literally has the fear of being stabbed at any moment in his, like, in real life, like, not joking, like, that's genuinely true. And then people went, oh, that's really sad, I'm gonna now downvote him. Like, just piling on. Like, what kind of monsters are in this community? Who hears about the trials and tribulations some poor Scotsman's going through and goes, I'm gonna now also downvote him? You're joking, right? No. No, that's... I've been stabbed twice here. It's not a nice area. Like, the jokes and the memes about, like, me living in, like, a really bad area aren't really jokes. The burning of my house wasn't like a meme, or it happened. It's really bad. It's really bad here. Now, luckily, I can laugh about it, right? Because it's like, you know, there's worse things. But yeah, it is kind of rough here. That is most certainly true.
Yes, sir. Construction complete.
Do you have any? Yeah, you guys. I'm not putting you in there.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
You had no idea. Yeah, it's really bad.
Unit repaired.
I remember the place where my big sister lives, where I had to move in. I actually get jumped there when I was younger as well. I told, I went up there with my friends. I was there to meet a girl because, you know, young lad. And I bumped into, like, there was a gang of like 15 boys walking by, going to the shops and whatever. Oh crap. And they seen me and they ran over and they're like, oh, where are you from, buddy? And I said where I was from, which is the bottom end of the town, and they just kind of laughed and kind of looked at me, and I thought, oh, they're just happy, cheery guys. And they jumped me like 5 minutes later because apparently people down mine had come up the weekend before that and beat the crap out of a bunch of their mates. So they're like, hey, let's beat up this, or try beat up this young boy who's like, what, I think I was like 14 at the time. They were all like 16, 17. Luckily they couldn't fight for crap, and well, I wasn't fighting back, they didn't really manage to hurt me or whatever. But like, that could have went so bad. I look back at it now. It was it actually reminds me of the fire on the house that I had. When I went through, I seen that my house was on fire, and I'm like, someone else has probably phoned the fire brigade, and then went back because I was in the middle of a stream at the time, and I had that same sort of attitude even back then, because, like I said, I was there to meet a girl. So the first thing I thought after the jumping was like, who cares? I'm still up here. The girl's still there, but like I ended up having to get taken back by the police. The police get called. They came. They're like, "Oh, what happened to you?" I'm like, you know, fell, and whatever. And they're like, right. Then one of the girls kind of snitched on what happened. And the police were like, right, we can't have you up here. If it could happen again, you could get jumped again. So they took me back in the police car home, and which meant I struck out with a girl, which was the worst part of that weekend. Who cares about the jumping? That was all that mattered to me. You know, 14-year-old kid. Don't blame me.
Construction complete.
Only Christian fundamentalist standing on my neck for dating a local girl. Guess I was a lucky one. Yeah, like I said, I like to think I'm pretty happy-go-lucky for most parts of the thing. I like to think these stories like that confirm it as well, and that was just a weekend. And then still feels bad. Oh, I've got no interest in that crap anymore. I am a older and more evolved human being. Oh crap, my
New construction options.
my south side.
Repairing. Building. Building.
Get a destroyer out.
Yes, sir.
My days of chasing after girls is probably
On
done.
hold. Cancel. Construction complete.
Getting old
Building.
and, well, not old and grumpy. I'm late 20s, but still. Getting laid is slightly more important than surviving, young knows. Young knew that, fan. Now, if you guys enjoy these stories while I'm talking about all the trials and tribulations of a young Scottish lad, just remember the things that made me the man I am are games like this. Great games like this. This was my childhood. This was what formed me into the dapper young lad that I am, or was, and now I'm. Death during yoga is the way to go, right? A vote for this is a vote for young. Exactly, right? Exactly. It's genuinely a good game. If you, I don't even think it's that expensive right now. If you had the money, honestly, I would still say this is well worth getting a bash of. Oh crap! I think it's to the right here I need to go, but I can't go. Yeah,
Construction complete.
Do the same.
Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
I think he's standing on it. Oh my god, you absolute idiot, APC.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledge.
Completely cost me that.
Acknowledge.
Right, now you jump over here. Silly scientist, yeah, just dancing around. I think he has to be in either that spot or that spot to actually detonate the gas canister or whatever. The remaster is done so well. It's ridiculously good how well they've done this remaster. Especially for EA, right? I did not expect EA of all things were going to be the ones to knock out something like this. But they were. Oh, please don't, please don't, please don't. Oh god, that's bad.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
On hold. Cancel. Training. Unit ready. Unit ready. Training. Unit lost.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Straight up going for it. I think that goes from harvesters.
Unit ready.
That's less bad.
Training. Unit lost. Unit ready. Training.
If it was good for anything else, that would have been really bad for me.
Yes, sir.
Oh, we killed that super quick.
Waiting orders.
Unit lost.
Mammoth tanks just had no freaking chance.
Unit
Yes, sir.
ready. Training.
Yeah, I believe to
Unit
play
ready.
this, you had to complete the game originally,
Unit ready.
and then click on a speaker. I don't know if you had to complete the game,
Yes, sir.
thinking about
Ready
it.
and waiting at once.
But remember, you had to
Very
click on
well.
a speaker in the
Awaiting orders.
game to actually
Ready and waiting.
activate these missions. But yeah, these are giant arts. That's our enemy for today. Crap. I don't get why they're getting through these defences so easily. They really shouldn't be. Also, I need to move
Construction complete.
a thing up
Unit
a wee bit
ready.
closer.
Training.
Yes, sir.
What
Building.
I'm thinking of, that you can
Unit
go all the way
ready.
over here.
Building.
Transporters, but
Yes,
I'm
sir.
pretty sure there's one over
Affirmative.
here that I can grab easily. Now, I've kind of messed that up because that was my strat, was to quickly rush this.
Insufficient funds.
Yeah, as Max says, this is when the what was it called?
Reporting.
Retaliation came out.
Acknowledged.
It added this because the original guys. Oh crap! I'm having them right there, really bad. The original guys that you have,
Base is under attack.
and
Prepare.
like the ones that we've seen the first intro mission for with Tanya and that, they are they're for the original one, and then the commander who was doing the intro for this one, he was in the retaliation, I believe.
Awaiting orders.
Right, let's
Training.
spam them with infantry.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Now let's see if we can pull this one
Vehicle
off.
reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Report
Probably
very well.
not, but off I go.
Our base is under attack.
Building. Damn it.
Repair.
I hate these things.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Yeah, okay.
Training.
Okay.
Unit ready.
Don't kill him.
Training.
Yes, sir.
Off a try. Off a
Unit
try.
ready.
We don't have many tries, unfortunately.
Okay.
Unit ready.
There is also still a lot to go.
Unit ready.
There's one there.
Training.
There's one up here.
Unit ready.
There's one here. There's one down here, and then there's one down here, and then there's that one there.
Acknowledged.
Yeah, the way to do it is with APC rush.
On hold. Cancel.
I don't believe they've got any of the
Reporting.
fire ones, luckily though.
Insufficient funds.
Let me activate you to try and make you come this way. No, we can just kill you though.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Let's leave it at that one. There we go.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
I really shouldn't do this while I have one of the guys here.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
But they're gonna follow him,
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
hopefully into this gas. No, these three aren't gonna follow him.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged.
None of them are gonna follow him. God damn it! Right.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Very well. Yes, sir.
You go that
Acknowledged.
way. You go that way. Then we're gonna have this in the back. Are
Unable
you
to comply.
actually building? Yeah,
Building
you
in
are.
progress.
Okay.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Awaiting orders. Reporting. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Your
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
sacrifices remembered.
Acknowledged. Awaiting orders.
I think those guys are always gonna get killed by these ones.
Complete. Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he ran straight into them like a moron. He was supposed to go out the back.
New construction options.
That
Building. Unit lost.
was his fault. I can't be held responsible for his stupidness. We'll just say stupidness.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Let's go get that
Unit
one.
Awaiting
lost.
very well.
Unit lost.
Awaiting orders.
Unable to comply. Building in progress.
Yes, sir.
Insufficient funds.
Awaiting orders.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Awaiting order. Very well.
If you guys go over there, yeah, he's stuck in place. Just what killed him.
Awaiting orders.
Construction complete.
Because he wanted to kill the
Very
APC.
well.
and he couldn't because it was out of range, so he just killed the first thing that got to him.
Our base is under attack.
Right, let's
Ready.
Yes, sir.
not mess it up now. These scientists clearly aren't our best and brightest.
Acknowledged.
There's no way to queue more than one per click. Yeah, shift.
On hold.
I just like clicking it.
Acknowledged. 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 Agreed. Yes, sir. Vehicle
Right,
reporting.
you've barely done anything, so you're going to go up here to click this. These are gems. They basically have like double the amount of money in them. Now I do have to go twice as far to get them, so it tends to actually not be that worth it. But we should be fine.
Affirmative.
Oh my
Reporting
god, that is terrible timing. That is the absolute worst possible timing they could have spawned.
Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Yeah. Okay. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
I'm pretty sure he's completely safe if he goes over there, because they have to go past there, and there's like a 2-tile radius that the gas can work.
Ready and waiting. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Right, that's perfect. You go over here and kill all them.
Reporting.
How long do I have left? 45 minutes. Oh, it's going to be tight. I'm not going to have a lot of time to do my mockery. God damn it. Hopefully Bane's up a little bit late and he doesn't mind me having like 15-20 minutes to just do some stuff. Because I do, being the responsible young adult that I am, I do have some things that I had planned for after this.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Oh, that was another one of them. Right now, I no longer actually need that.
Preparing.
So let's get rid of you.
Preparing.
That is true. I should be able to speed it up now. Although I need to be careful because
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
if I speed it up too much, then I might accidentally scientist into ant face.
Unit lost.
I just need to get these guys over here to activate the...
Lost. Unit
Oh, I'm
lost.
supposed to be able to see everything there. Come on, game.
Ready. Construction complete. Building. Repairing.
Oh god, keep on attacking that one. Let's just
Construction
sell
complete.
that. Can't be bothered keeping on repairing that.
Building. Training.
Yeah,
Unit
20 infantry
ready.
should be enough to
Unit
go over
ready.
here and
Training.
defend the crap out of
Construction
that.
complete. Unit ready. Training. Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir.
Insufficient
Affirmative.
funds.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
On
So I'm
hold.
probably going to grab another refinery first
Building.
Reporting.
and have it placed
Unit
closer to
ready.
the actual
Training.
ore now.
Yes,
Unit
sir.
ready.
There's going to be a big jump when
Unit
it comes
ready.
in.
Training.
Yes, sir.
Our base is under attack.
Also, I probably don't need that many of these up here now.
Unit
Reporting
ready.
very well.
Training.
Yes, sir.
Gonna keep a second one of these up here as well. Destroyer can't really reach anything. It's very specific. It stops like here. There is an ant base like over here, but it's never in range of anything. The best thing for the destroyers is actually to have them here, and just like a line of like 3 or 4 of them can really defend the crap out of that crossing.
Waiting orders.
But it's incredibly expensive,
Reporting.
and they can't then move, and I can't resell them. Well, I do think you can technically kind of sell some stuff, but not very well.
On hold. Cancel.
Now, oh please, why did you go up there still? I'm an idiot.
Yes, sir. Very well.
Go here, defend that.
Yes, sir. Very well.
Oh, please tell me they're going to do what I think they're going to do. Yes.
Yes, sir.
No.
Affirmative.
Yes.
Reporting. Yes, sir.
Easy peasy. Now you guys go over here.
Our base is under attack.
Capture node.
Construction.
Oh no, it's just I was kind of hoping that maybe you've got a little bit of love in your heart for Command and Conquer, and you could give me a little bit extra. It's not actually for Command and Conquer I need the extra time, it's for something else I had planned. That shouldn't take too long, but I might not have enough time if I just have my own time. but I'll need like an extra like maybe 15 minutes tops. I imagine. If not, I'm actually completely fine with that. If your time.
Base is under attack.
Right.
Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative.
While we're here, we
Training.
spam the crap out of more
Unit
rifle infantry.
Reporting.
Training. Unit ready.
Awaiting order.
Training.
Also, I love your choice of
Training.
Dune. I'm told it's like a visual novel, the one you're doing. But I was always a big fan of the kind of Dune franchise and the setting.
Training. Unit ready.
So I'm really looking forward to it.
Ready. On hold. Training. Building.
Waiting order.
Our base is under attack. Unit ready. Insufficient funds.
Reporting.
Unit ready.
Right, should
Training.
take around 5 hours, maybe
Unit
shorter, maybe
ready.
longer, since I'll go
Training.
over spare time after him.
Construction complete.
Yeah, let's do it. Thank you. I appreciate it. It wasn't anything I had planned until last night. It's done at such a low quality. I actually hope that adds to just how bad it is. I am not an artistically gifted person, but I did the best I could for this for the memory, and hopefully you guys will appreciate it and be kind, right? Because as I said, I am not artistically gifted.
Yes, sir. Acknowledge. Ready and waiting. Yes, sir.
Unit
Waiting
lost.
orders. Very well. Agree. Affirmative. Agree. Affirmative.
One of my favourite things to actually do in this map is to go over here and take over that base as well after this. So I think it's just a really cool thing,
Yes, sir.
having both sets of units while still being able to do this.
Unit lost.
Oh, please let him through. Let the man through.
Acknowledge.
If I go here, he should drop directly onto it, which kills the rest of them.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
There's another building going down.
Affirmative.
What did he even destroy that time? Another one of them. God damn it, game.
Reporting.
Why do you hate me?
Training. Unit ready. Unit ready.
What game is it you're running, fan? I didn't notice you were running it, running in
Training.
the map. Oh my god, look at them.
Unit lost.
Awaiting orders.
I did not mean to send those two guys.
Waiting orders. Affirmative.
Did one of them, mind you.
Unit lost. Training.
They're all dead. All my guys died.
Unit
Every single one of them are now dead.
Unit lost.
Holy Jesus.
Affirmative.
Unit ready. Unit lost. Unit
Right, you
lost.
buddy, you just get to the back.
Training.
Yes, sir.
Unit
Let the
ready.
rest of the troops do the fighting and the killing.
Lost.
And the dying, a lot of the dying.
Training.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Okay.
Training.
Reporting at once.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready. Unit ready.
Okay.
Training.
Yes, sir. Very well.
Unit ready. Training.
Okay.
Unit ready.
Reporting.
Oh, the
Yes,
bug?
sir.
Yeah, the bug.
Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. At once.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Okay.
You just make a run for it, you'll be fine.
Yes,
Unit
sir.
lost. Unit lost.
Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Star Control 2.
Base is under
Any
attack.
good? I mean, obviously you're going to say it's any good, but what is it? Tell me a little bit about your games.
Okay.
Obviously I know
Reporting.
about Baines, because he's playing a good franchise, but Star Control, I don't think I've ever heard of Star Control.
Yes, sir.
Don't know if that's just me being a
Reporting. Affirmative.
poor child that couldn't afford those kind of games, or whether it was just a kind of under the radar game.
Reporting.
Star Control 2 is unfortunately quite good. I imagine as its competitor, that is not the best thing for you then, Bane.
Yes, sir.
And another thing that's even harder for you, Bane, is you have to deal with Fan as well, which is even more unfortunate because he's pretty good at the old slander.
Mission
There we go.
accomplished.
my level of competitiveness is going to be almost entirely decided by how much trash Bane talks. It's one of the best games ever made. Super influential. It's hard to say exactly why, but it still shows up as one of the best games ever made list pretty often. Oh, that's interesting enough. I look forward to the stream. Right, we 100% need to turn down the speed here. This is a very, very hard set of missions.
Move out.
Where's our medic?
Moving out. Yes, of course. Move out.
We have to kill all the larvae and eventually a queen.
Of course. Move out.
We get no sight as well, which is pretty rough.
Of course.
The only unit I have that's any competence is this guy here, and he just dies. God damn it, game. Let's try that one again.
Yes.
Those are green guys who are. Oh my god! Why would you? He just get flamed. Why would you do that, flamers? CPUs today not even. Oh yeah, 100%. Those definitely speed up for this as it is. It's so much faster than what I remember it as a kid. It's kind of crazy.
Of course. Of course. Of course. Move out. Of course. Move out.
Because you've got to remember it's balanced around being a lot slower than what it is.
Affirmative. Yes. Of course.
Where does I need to go? Is it up or down?
Of course. Move out. Of course. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Commander. Of
I
course.
think it's up.
Of course. Of course. Of course. Move out. Medic reporting out. Yes. Move
What
out.
to here should activate a Tesla.
Commander. Move out.
There we go.
Of course. Yes. Move out.
Actually, let's save here. Just one.
Mission saved.
Just so we don't have to do that opening again. Move all our troops over to about here.
Affirmative.
Move you guys
Medic
to
reporting.
here.
Affirmative. Medic reporting. Affirmative.
Have you as a kind of safe spot here. I think I have to go. Oh, no, that's the wrong way. I should be safe enough here.
Move out.
There is two things.
Of course.
Oh crap, I shouldn't have moved forward. That's why we saved. Load. Good old Tesla coils. Tesla coils, like the Soviets are just so ridiculously overpowered in this game. It's amazing. It really makes you feel like the Allies have a struggle to win.
Yes, of course.
Like they absolutely dominate on the sea, the Allies,
Yes, sir.
until
Of course.
the other stuff that the Soviets unlock come, and I believe it's the retaliation expansion. It's not save scumming. It's dying.
Move out.
I straight up die when that
Of
happens.
course. Move out. Of course. Of
I
course.
physically can't complete this without Stavros here.
Yes.
He is completely essential to the victory of the game.
Of course.
Now, do we have a crate? We do have a crate. Is this the attack one? It is the attack one, so we're going to be a wee bit stronger in our attacks.
Move out. Yes.
As you would guess from the attack one.
Of course. Move out.
Right. I have to book it up here as quickly as possible because there's ants that come in either side. And unless I get this stuff off, they kill you.
Of course. Commander, move out.
Now this is another one of our save spots. So we're going to give it a wee save. I actually played this on console when I first got it, and it was very good. Like that is how I remember Command and Conquer.
Ready and waiting. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Only on console, so it was a lot slower.
Commander, move out.
So I believe there's a little bit through here I need to do.
Move out.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Of course, of course.
And we actually get to see for a second, which is
Of course.
always a surprise.
Of course. Of
Oh, he's
course.
dead. He's dead.
Unit lost.
God damn it. Fortunately, sometimes the pathing is a bit wonky with your
Commander, of course.
commando dude,
Agreed. Yes.
because this is just the male Tanya. He's got a lot less range, unfortunately, which really kills the usefulness of him.
Lost.
Again, I clicked to. Oh, I just deleted it. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. What was that ant one? Huh. Where was that saved? Hey, pretty much exactly
Of course. Move out.
where I was before.
Of
The
course.
save before this one.
Of course.
Here's one I prepared earlier.
Commander.
So it's just
Of
back
course.
here.
Reporting. Agreed.
Put
Affirmative.
you guys over there.
Yes, acknowledged.
Might actually use you guys
Very well.
this time.
Affirmative. At once. Agreed.
Unit lost.
Reporting.
Maybe not them in
Affirmative.
particular.
Yes, sir.
People
Very well.
like them.
Affirmative. Reporting. Agreed. Acknowledged. Very well. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
I believe the flamey guys are good
At
as
once.
long as they don't, the ants don't actually
Agreed.
move.
At
If you have to
once.
come within range of them, you're fine.
Very well.
Unit firepower.
At once.
Upgrade.
Very well.
Now these ones should be a lot stronger, both in attacking and not killing themselves. I don't think the armour does a lot for them though,
Agreed.
honestly.
Affirmative. Affirmative. At once. Reporting.
It's a very
Affirmative.
nothing boost.
Agreed.
Unit lost.
Yeah, like, there you go, I just lost a bunch of them anyway.
Agreed. Of course.
Oh, that's right, I think this is the one I need to do to actually see again.
Yes.
So that gives me
Move out.
back my vision,
Yes, sir. Very well.
which, you know, sort of important,
Acknowledged. At once.
as you would imagine.
Agreed. Affirmative. Awaiting order. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Unit
Yes, sir.
lost.
Affirmative.
Those are 100% going to come on, guys.
Unit
Very
No,
well. Of course.
the sound effects for people dying, I will always remember in this game.
Very well.
Especially the flamer guys dying. It's hilarious.
Agreed.
I think they use it in other things as well,
Affirmative.
but this is the game I'll always remember it for. I literally only need Stavros for this mission. Oh, Jesus Christ, little dude, you're killing it. Oh, don't die to this guy, please, please don't die.
Affirmative.
Unit
they're gonna-
lost.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Now you actually have to kill all these larvae as well,
At once. Of course.
so this wee dude
Very well.
killing it
Of
is
course.
pretty useful to me.
At once. Very well.
Commander.
And thank God you only need Stavros, because that is all we have. Kinda rough.
Yes, sir. Very well.
Now I believe the final boss bit is there, which is a
Affirmative.
queen ant.
At once.
Now this guy's probably more danger to himself than he is to the ants. Yeah,
At once. Affirmative. Very well.
Unit
yeah, there we go,
lost.
dead. Now let's not
Mission
lose this one this time though.
Yes. Of course.
I don't think you have to
Yes,
kill
sir.
all of them, but
Yes,
you do
of
have to
course.
kill
Move out. Of course.
the queen.
Move out. Yes.
Unit
Move out.
lost.
The queen
Of
is
course.
an essential,
Affirmative.
kill in this one.
Of course. Move out. Of course.
Oh,
Move
was
out.
that armor? I don't think I've
Unit
ever noticed that armor before.
Commander. Of course. Of
Right,
course.
let him go first,
Move out. Of course. Move out. Of course.
we- yeah.
Yes. Move out. Of course. Commander.
so we don't lose the
Move out.
rather important
Of course. Of course. Move out.
medic.
Unit
Move
fire.
out.
Medic is literally
Of course. Yes, sir.
what'll win or loses this one.
Commander. Move out. Yes. Of course. Move out.
That's a real risky move, doing this run when that one's chasing us,
Move out.
because he's probably going to get here before them.
Commander.
Right, so he goes up there, doesn't go this way. Yeah, these are all flame ones and warrior ants, there's no chance in hell we were beating them.
Reinforcements have arrived.
But now we get these guys to come help us, which we don't really need, but they are flamer dudes, which are good for a kind of point. Let's go here again.
Move out.
Not die this time.
Yes, move out.
Now this should help, because I was trying to rush kill the other ones because we were going to lose vision, but now that we don't lose vision, we should be a wee bit better. I believe as long as you stand him still, he's got a good chance of like killing anything that comes at you.
Commander. Commander. Move out.
If I move the two of these forward.
Of course.
Now this is actually a game that has a lot of memory for me as a kid as well. I've told this story before. Jake loves this story. He quotes it quite often. But there was a co-op to this game, a split screen skirmish mode basically, and I played that with my father. Me and him, we played that, and there was one time where we were basically doing a 2 versus 2 on one of the maps. And it's a really fun map. That map. Medic's getting chewed up. And we had killed one of the AI. We had blitzed them. Me and my dad, we had absolutely killed them. And we had both been building up because the other AI had sort of kind of turtled and built just so many defences. So me and him were like, right, we're gonna. No, he said to me, he's like, right, son, what we're going to do is if you hit him in the east side, I'll hit him in the west side, and between us we should have enough troops to grind down all of his defences. We'll win, and then what I'll do is we can build up after that, and we'll fight it out and see, like, because you couldn't actually have a co-op win, and then we'll just have like a wee fun fight at the end to see who like wins and whatever. So I was like, alright Dad, and I sent all my troops into the east side. We were absolutely slaughtering them. I got to about, I think it was just as the last kind of proper hard defences were falling, and all I hear is, your base is under attack. Now bear in mind, I can't see his base because fog of war, but what he had done is, and I hadn't built any defences on his side because I thought we were going to have time to build up and whatever. Bear in mind, I was like a 10-year-old kid at this time. I had built up no defences. He had built up tons. He was ready and raring to go. I had built up nothing, and he had waited for me to send in all my troops. I had a lot more troops than him. He sent them in, or I sent them in. They got grounded down on all those defences. Eventually, we won, or I won against them. But your base is under attack was literally my dad, who hadn't flung in any of his stuff to help me on the west side, sending his troops in to my base. He swept through me like a swarm of locusts. And bear in mind, this is co-op LAN. We're plugged into each other. We're in the same room. He just looks up at me, and I'm like nearly crying, right? Like he's just betrayed me in the worst possible way, and he just goes to me, son, never trust anybody. And that's a lesson I will remember for the rest of my life. If you ever wonder why I'm sort of a jaded person and I don't trust stuff that people say, that right there is the reason why. Oh right, we've lost. God damn it. It was a terrible image. I don't speak to my father as an adult. Not because of that, but in general, I don't speak to my father. If you're wondering why, I'm sure you can figure it out.
Commander, of course.
He
Moving out.
Yes, sir.
is probably not the best of guys. So I have to be known for my own parenting efforts.
Commander, move
If
out.
you
Yes, sir.
if you ever do that to your child, you're a bad person. That's all I'm gonna, damn it. That's all I'm gonna say. He sounds like such a kind, loving father. Yeah, between that and the beating the living shit out of me for breaking his game, because eventually he did find out that it was in fact me that broke his game. Why did you not attack there, buddy? He did find out that it was me, and he did whip my ass for breaking his game.
Affirmative.
Yes, of course. Move out. Of course. Of course. Of
Because,
course.
you know,
Yes, sir.
I kind of broke his game.
Yes, sir. Reporting.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Very
Back in the
Reporting.
days where
Acknowledged.
spanking the crap out your kid was a good thing.
Moving
Now
out.
I had that as a punishment method.
Yes, of course.
It's not a good punishment method. There's better ways. Don't beat your kids, guys. Don't beat your kids.
Reporting. Agreed.
Medic report.
One thing I will say though
Affirmative.
is,
Affirmative.
as much as I remember that lesson, and I really hate him or hated him for that lesson at the time, it inspired a lot of what I am as an adult.
Of course. Of course. Of
It
course.
was not the worst lesson, right?
Of course.
Don't trust anyone.
Of course. Move out.
That might be a
Of course.
little pessimistic for some,
Of course.
but there's worse lessons.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Yes, of course. Yes, sir.
You
Yes, sir.
need to be out of here quickly because he immediately gets Tesla coiled by the ant.
Commander,
Don't
of
ask.
course. Move out.
Back to one. Left you there. It's a shame it was still legal in the UK. It's been banned in Sweden since the late 60s. Really?
Yes, of course.
Chat, name your your favourite fictional character.
Of course. Move out.
Unit lost.
God damn it, Stavros. Oh man, I can't actually think. Probably, if I had to pick any, Tidus from Final Fantasy X, maybe.
Commander, of course. Of course.
Awaiting order.
I was a big fan of
Yes, of
Final
course.
Fantasy X and Tidus. I loved him as a character. The whole story of Final Fantasy X gets me every time.
Acknowledge.
I don't mean to
Acknowledge.
spoil the game,
Affirmative.
but the bit at the end
Affirmative.
when Tidus runs, or Yuna runs to grab Tidus, and then that thing happens, I bawl like a little bitch every time. Gets you right in the feels. Gets me right in the feels every single time.
Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Right, now
Very well.
Yes, move out.
this is going to be rough,
Yes, sir.
because this thing has crazy range, it shoots really fast. Lee and Clementine in The Walking Dead, yeah, right, like, there's some stuff that just hits you right in the feels every time. I had wanted to watch Nitro play Final Fantasy X, but like whenever he talks about it, he's just shitting on it, and I really like the game, so it really takes away from me.
Unit lost.
Reporting. Yes, sir.
Such a shame.
Unit lost.
There we go. We
Yes, sir.
have
Affirmative.
killed
Ready and waiting. Reporting.
the
Affirmative.
Queen.
Acknowledge.
Now,
Lost.
I must apologise to JJ. I know how much he loves his bug
Awaiting orders.
porn,
Affirmative.
but we are destroying this. This is the crusade against JJ, basically.
Reporting. Affirmative. Very well. Affirmative.
We had
Reporting.
Stavros survive, we had all of our flame guys survive. Come on, man, I just woke up! When you're having dreams of the bug porn. And there we go. We are completed. Evil Ant Queen Lady dead. I don't know if there's another one. No, there's not. But yeah, that's just some of them. There is some other really good missions I wish I could have covered a little better, or covered at all, honestly. But I did, like I said to Bane, it looks like I'm not going to need to go over my time. 20 minutes is about how long I need to do my mocking. But honestly, it's not mocking. It isn't mocking. It's calling out. I mentioned that I have got like no hearing right now, which technically I have. I would be classed as someone with a disability, right? And to bully me would be an absolute disgrace, right? You must be a really bad person to do that. Now, it turns out there is some bad people in the community, and let's just take a look at those bad people, shall we? I did prepare something a little earlier. It's not much. I'm not that great with stuff. There is some people that I may have slightly picked on a little harder than others here. But these were the people who were crazy enough to vote down the Vice City run. These are all the Brazil votes. There might be more that have been added, but I prepared this last night before I went to bed. Took me like half an hour. I exactly Ninja. I went Comic Sans for the Smell Cat. You are wrong, Franco. You are wrong. Speaking of, where is he? I believe Franco is definitely here somewhere. Right there he is. Right there. We got a pen. Can we circle him out? Right here. What a absolute rude man. Apologies if this is Dawson, your Discord or whatever. But if you're on the Discord and you voted, you deserve this, right? You deserve this. Another one I would like to point out, make special mention to this bugger right here, the fish of the lips. This man is the worst human being. Not only did he vote down Vice City, oh, there's another one over there, Rested. You're not getting away from this either, you freaking scumbag. Those two specifically voted me down after hearing about how hard my life is in Scotland with the stabbings, the drownings, all that, right? All that. They heard that from Pizza and went, you know what, you're right, and they took away a positive vote to give a bad vote. What kind of person would do that to another man? Absolute worst people in the world. Cannot believe them. Just stop being poor. there is also that. I'm a student, right? I'm expected to be poor. If I'm rich and a student, something's up. Now, as I said, there is some stereotypes about the Scottish and like being dwarfs that are accurate, and it is the Book of Grudges. I will hold these people to account for this for the rest of their life. I will forever remember what they've done to me. The BR are always in my sights, simply due to one BR stealing 200 quid from me when I was 16. I've told that story enough times, I don't need to go back over that. Smellcat get put in here specifically because last night she said something to me. I don't even know if it was offensive. I couldn't hear her. My hearing's, like as I said, busted. But it was enough that even though I can't remember it, she's being singled out here as well because she is the worst cat. Now some other notable comments on the people here. I mean, I'm just gonna like cross out certain people because like you know, who even are they, right? Like user free, what is that? Able? You're picking on the disabled, so that's a really unfortunate username. The real decoy, probably just an alt of this evil bastard here. Hamster, I don't actually hold anything against. For someone to be that miserable with their life and everything in it, I can't possibly say anything to hurt him. that he doesn't already feel about himself and other people. He's got it hard enough living a life that's devoid of any happiness. So I can't say anything bad about him. He is literally just struggling along. He knows the pain. Manny, I feel like I know Manny. I feel like Manny's been chatting a bunch and they've voted me down because they're just bad people. Rakuso, I was surprised with Rakuso. I think I've seen Rakuso a bit. I think I don't know if I'm pretty sure he's actually running in the Martian as well. Where's another one? Another one that I'm going to single out down here is Acronymus. Acronymus voted me down, not because he watched the Vice City and it was bad, not because he's not a fan of Vice City, but because I didn't take all my time and I gave my time to someone when I finished who was a little behind. Like, what kind of moron does that? That man will never heist with me again. He's so bad at heisting, it's crazy. See that? Like, you should only have to carry the loot on your back, right? You shouldn't have to carry his fat ass as well. But every stealth game, he makes me look like fucking what's his name? Is it Sam Neill, the guy from Splinter Cell or whatever the hell he is? He makes me look like Solid Snake when he was actually good. That kind of stuff. He's just the worst, absolute worst. Doc Spengler, I'm really surprised by that. I'm really surprised, but yeah, 100%. I've swore like 3 times in this stream and no one's noticed. Sam Fisher, that's it. I don't know who the hell I've already forgotten the name I said. Is this some kind of sunny mailroom situation? No. People, like I said, I warned everyone about this. I said, you will be called out if you vote me down. I will remember it. You will go on a list. And I will never forget you, and I will never forget these names. Right here, there should be Demon25x6, because that person, I remember this as clear as it was yesterday. He made a comment in one of Jake's videos saying that he thought that Heldon was the one true Scot of the community. Now, that comment will forever live with me. Admittedly, Heldon is like half Scottish, but he's like as far from Scottish as you can be. He lives in my head rent free, 100%. I will bring him a reckoning. As I said last time, how many people voted down CNC? That's fine. I can CNC. I kind of understand, right? Like if you voted down CNC, it's probably because you're a big fan of Factorial. I can kind of see that, but Vice City, the games Vice City was up against were a joke. Vice City should have had 100% positive, no negative, unless you're taking shots at me, right? Which I take every one of these as. Every single one of them. Every one of these will be remembered. And there will be a reckoning. I promise you that, right? I will outlast yous when it comes to this. These grudges are for your lives, because I will outlast you. That's not a threat. I'm not going to kill people. That's not what I'm saying. That's not. I don't want to get cancelled off Twitch here. I'm just saying, you'll be in the ground before I am. Where's another one? Nemi Blub. Absolute worst. Sombra. I actually voted up Sombra. What a rude guy. I voted up Sombra. I was one of the first people to vote him up as well. Young Sharpen is his axe and Gallon is wrong. Exactly. Imitation Scot. I believe this is a no true Scotsman fallacy. Why would you vote up Disciplines 2? I voted up Disciplines 2, not because it was a good game. It was one of the most boring games I have ever witnessed in my life. But because of Sombra. He's okay. I like Sombra. I don't. Other than the whole Aeromorph, I think was like the one thing I really remember him for. But that was so long ago. You shouldn't have that held against you forever. I'm gonna. But you know, I felt like, you know what, he's did well enough in the actual stream itself. I know it's boring. I don't want to be a bad sport. It would be a really scummy thing to just like downvote all of your competition, like some sort of scrub, and vote up yourself. I didn't vote for myself on any of mine. I've also not I have upvoted every single one of the people that are competing against me so far, and I will continue to do so, other than Factorial, because it's just that boring. Unless he's incredibly entertaining in the Factorial stream. That is a big part of where my vote goes. Like, originally I had Jake downvoted, but his mockery was so on point when it came to Helden and Mass Effect. Mass Effect mostly. He didn't really take digs at Helden, and he was a smart man to not, because Helden would have ripped him a new one, because Helden got to go second. It's just so much of an advantage to go after your opponent if he starts taking the piss out you. It's a free win. Name your Blub trying to defend himself. I also upvoted CNC. That's fine, because CNC's a good game, but to downvote Vice City, absolutely no excuse for it. I can see not voting it up. If it's not your thing, not voting it up, but to say it's a bad game or it isn't better than the other two, you're wrong. You're just categorically wrong. Even freaking Pizza didn't think his game should have won, right? Like, he doesn't think it's a good game. He literally learned how to finish it as quickly as possible, so he didn't need to play the game. I'm not sure it's good to go after your opponent at this rate. Less people are watching and this voting then at the start. I can't imagine you have like half the amount of votes and views next week's. I don't know. There's some early on ones that didn't get as many votes as like Portal or the Vice City run. I think it very much depends on how long you run for and how well people remember your game. If you've got a really short time, you can't really put your game forward that much. Like, if you're going to take the piss out of people, also have a relatively large stream time if you can, because like Pizza had probably one of the best piss takes of anyone in the marathon so far, but it was also in a super short, like half an hour stream, so a lot of people didn't actually get to see the humour. I suggest to anyone who hasn't seen Pizza's stream, I know I'm literally shilling for my competitor at this point, but it was so funny, and if you like to take the piss out of me, or you don't like me, that is the stream for you. That was a absolute great put down. Literally nothing he says is even false. I wish I could like deny some of the stuff that he points out, like the putting my rent money on the Eurovision is on a bet. I 100% did that. If Ukraine didn't win the Eurovision, I would have probably like been like 400 quid in debt to my rent. 100%. I made that terrible decision. Like, I can't defend that. But yeah, his lead into his stream was just perfect. Unfortunately, it was marred by the fact that it was a terrible game. Now, you may be wondering, like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this mockery? Originally, the name of this marathon Jake wanted was the Mockery Marathon. Now, there is still some people that are going to be mocking their competitors. There's some people that are going to be mocking just other runners in general, like, you know, FGs took some shots at me as well, just to kind of take the piss, which I greatly appreciated. They did backfire, but I did appreciate like having an emote in your honour, even if it's a furry emote, still kind of funny. I still appreciate that, and I very much appreciated that piss take as well in your one FGs. But I thought, yeah, people are going to be mocking the runners, they're going to be mocking each other, they're going to be mocking themselves, but you know who isn't going to get mocked? These people in stream right now, especially certain horrible not nationalities, I'm not racist, I'm not actually racist, right? I don't hate BRs, but I'm going to edit that part where I say I don't hate them out the VOD, because I've made a public image and it needs to be upkept. But just remember, right, these people on screen right now, you know, Nafo as well. Nafo's supposed to be my man. I'm pretty sure he's a VIP in this chat, and he's went against me like that. can't trust people. You just can't. Kalpa, I'm pretty sure Kalpa's downvoted everything. He's like hamster light in this marathon. He's just the most miserable. Like, you gotta love something, right? Not all the games are that bad. Now, I will say the quality of the streams as well, up to this point. I don't know if the paint stream here has somewhat deteriorated the quality of the marathon overall, I would say, with my terrible attempts. But the quality has been great. There's been very few of the games that have been ran where I'm like, you know, that was just kind of a bad stream. In fact, I wouldn't even say that of any of them. I wouldn't say any of them were just straight up bad. Like, even there was a guy last night who was running who like completely scuffed the beginning. And it was just funny. It was just it added to the stream. I think it was the imperialism. I loved that. That was hilarious. I was laughing for like the good 45 minutes of the first part of it. Yes, Mario. The whole time I was thinking, didn't I slay you before? Maybe it's a different Mario. Right, chat being too much for me. I'm out of here. People are still getting clickbaited. But yeah, rant streams are the best streams. Are you about ready now, Bane? Because that is me. That's literally all I prepared. A little bit to cover the first game, a little bit to cover the second game, and then the slightly hidden third campaign was pretty much all I needed to do. Right, I'll get the raid started then. It was his first time streaming, Franco, which adds to the hilarity, because a lot of people like haven't bothered to like raid into the next person as well, which I find really funny because they've never streamed before. The poor people. I was really tempted to do that FGs as well. I wanted to do dinosaurs. I wanted to do the Pat Sucks mission as well, but unfortunately I only had 4 hours because by the time we were allowed to do second games, all the big slots had been taken up. But thank you all for watching. Hopefully, even if you didn't enjoy Command & Conquer, you get a laugh out the stream. And you had a good time. I would like to kind of point out, I don't actually hold anything against these people. It was just a piss take. I will remember their names for life. But other than that, it's just a piss take, right? I hope you guys enjoy Bane. He's doing Dune, which I think is not the RTS that I'm remembering. I think it's like a visual novels type game. But the Dune franchise is great, so how can you not love it? Hopefully you guys will enjoy that. I might be back at another time in the marathon. I can't, that would be spoilers, but if I do, I hope to see you guys then. Have a good one, and goodbye.